The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Assemble! You're listening to the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment industry and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from Fantastic Forum Studios, Los Angeles. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle, inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he is our resident Dark Knight detective. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our intrepid senior reporter. It's Oz.
There's a lot of green behind me. How do you know I'm not Nightmare?
No. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum. And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you about WandaVision. The season finale has aired. We are going to talk about the show in its entirety. There will be spoilers. There will be discussion. There will be not debunking, but there will be I guess what's the right word? No, I was gonna say decrying ridiculous fan theories, all that. So if you want to get down with that, please feel free to call in. Head to fantasticforum.live if you're listening someplace else. If you're watching us on YouTube or friggin' Facebook, hit the link, jump in, and we can talk about all things WandaVision. And, depending on how long the conversation goes, we might talk about some other stuff. But primarily, we're talking about WandaVision. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who without him, this show would not happen. So, Scott, hope you're doing well, man. Thank you very much, good sir. And we will go ahead and kick it to the intern. Go ahead, please.
My dog is fucking with the intern.
That sounds like that needs to go to HR.
No, the dog wants to play.
Whoa, hey, that's not appropriate in the workplace anymore.
You don't even know the HR's name, so don't even act like you care.
I know Stanley.
It wasn't Stanley.
Stanley.
No.
Oh, Wilbur.
It was Hubert
Wilbur.
Finkelstein, Larry. Hubert Finkelstein.
I know Hubert.
Anyway.
Hubert know me. That's what's important.
So she wrangled the dog, so here's the intern.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
The intern is a valued part of our team. Her professionalism knows no bounds. No.
Like, HR, not only HR knows you. Trust me, they know you.
I know they know me. I'm one of the members of the Fantastic Forum. How could they?
There's a file cabinet just dedicated for you.
Yeah.
Listen.
They have an
Don't-
attaché.
Not an attaché. God damn. Oh no. It's like, I apologize. I had no idea. Look, let me go full Cuomo. I had no idea that I was hurting anybody. That anyone was uncomfortable at the tent.
Which reminds me, shouldn't like that be in a flash drive now? Why do we have a giant file cabinet just for Lawrence?
Because we do things. Oh, sorry, I'm still in Cuomo way. We're we do it classic, man. We do it old school.
Yeah, man. There it is. That's how you intimidate people when you drop the file in front of them.
Yeah, like
This is you.
We technically do have it on a flash drive, but we just have it getting thicker and thicker, so we can just throw it on the table.
And there it is. That's how you know, like, you don't
And
need
that's
to argue. You're just like,
that's
oh, that's
gonna
on
be
me. Okay, I'm fired. Never mind.
That's gonna be next week. What were we talking about on the air? Let it get thicker and thicker, and slam it on the table. That technically is 5:55.
All right. So
We have a comment.
Go for it, Jay.
Tiger Claw says, now that WandaVision is over, next Friday is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Indeed, that is the case. How do you all feel about that?
I don't think Disney's gonna do a good job with that.
No?
Wait, next Friday? Like 2 days from now? Or
No,
No, the Friday after next.
Uh,
Yeah. You know how it goes. Some people would call this Friday coming up this Friday, and then the next Friday. But technically, there are people that definitely say next Friday is in 2 days.
There's those people, and then there's Tiger Claw.
I definitely prefer next Friday over Friday after next, but the original Friday was still very good.
Classic.
honestly, after the original Friday, it's all kind of garbage.
I know, but the
how
joke
dare
doesn't
you.
work if I'm honest.
How dare you? How dare you both?
Don't let the
Not
truth
true.
stump your humor.
I mean, yeah, there's not much to take away from the second one. And the third one is garbage. And the cartoon...
Can we talk
why did
about
they even make
the
cartoon?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Can we talk about that?
R.I.P. Tiny.
Like nobody wants to talk about the Friday cartoon.
Well, nobody wants an in-depth analysis about which one was better on our WandaVision wrap-up.
Well, how are you all feeling about the Falcon and Winter Soldier? Mo, you said you think they're going to mess it up. Why do you feel that? Isn't the Falcon and the Winter Soldier closer to everything they've been making up to this point?
Here's the thing, Larry. This is where your faulty memory is great because I get to rehash something. But every time Disney Plus says they're doing something, and this is going to go into our review of WandaVision, so I don't have faith in Disney to do this, right? Like a little preview of our review for WandaVision. When they announced it, I'm like, I don't give two fucks and a shit about this.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, devoting full 3 hours to it.
Well, 2.
Yeah, that's what we say. We do minutia. We do 245 on just minutia.
Oh man. Oh, that's too funny. Oh man, you know what? Did I look? Is our link tree is up and like all the links are up, right?
I don't know. Did you?
I did not. So
okay, then I didn't. I thought you did when you.
No, I usually do, but double check for me. Thank you, Moses. I appreciate
Who watered
you.
the tree?
Right. So this is just Mo being Moses.
Yeah.
And so I get it. What do you?
Real quick, just to end that thought, I do want to be wrong. Nothing gives me more pleasure, but I also like being right. So hopefully they fuck it
up. Hopefully Captain America's legacy is completely tarnished, so Mo can feel good about himself.
Look, it was tarnished in Endgame when we figured out he let 9/11 happen.
Oh man,
we don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
exactly. No, you don't. You know nothing.
I know.
Jay, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You have any thoughts on it?
Not really.
No? You could care less whether it comes out next week or 2 months from now or whatever.
I mean, it's not something I'm like. It's not on my calendar. Like, It's not Final Space season 3. It's not Infinity Train season 4. It's just, I know you guys are going to tell me when it comes on, and I'll check it out.
That's fair.
I mean, I'll probably feel about it the same way I feel about WandaVision.
Okay, well, I'm interested to hear how you feel about all that in a moment. Oz, as the resident.
Sure? Are you sure it's not Infinity Train? Because there was a train in that trailer. It might be Infinity Train. And they were both in Infinity War. I'm seeing the connections here.
It's all connected.
And I can't wait to see how Falcon and the Winter Soldier introduce us to the Fantastic Four.
I'm pretty sure
they were teased in the previous TV show, so they're just gonna they teased Mr. Fantastic, obviously, because they said aerospace engineer, and he's the only one in the world. Taking credit away from the talented woman that actually was the aerospace engineer. Whatever, Mr. Fantastic gets it, and I'm sure they'll bring in the Thing to help them like smash something.
Right, because that's what they need. They need help.
What
smash
thing?
Oh,
The Thing. The guy that says it's time to slaughter or something.
Tiger Claw says, regarding the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think the one character you guys are more curious about is U.S. Agent.
Now,
I have to say, you missed the mark on this one.
I know. Like, why does Tiger Claw feel that way? Why does he is Tiger Claw projecting his own? Like, does he care about U.S. Agent, or does Tiger Claw not even did he not know who that was until that he saw that trailer?
He's mistaking us for another comic book podcast that he contributes to.
He didn't even know the name U.S. Agent until he Googled who's the fake Captain America in the trailer.
I'm trying to figure out who are the people that Tiger Claw's listening to that are telling him that U.S. Agent is in the trailer, and how do we get him to listen to us to talk about that kind of stuff? Like
the same people that told him Mephisto was at the root of the whole
thing. You're gonna have to hold on to that one. We're definitely gonna get to these fan theories because how long
I've been holding on to these. I can't even mention them to you guys because then you yell at me, and that's why your file gets bigger.
Nobody yells at you for mentioning theories, Oz.
I mean, technically it's text, but it feels like I'm being yelled at.
Nobody. And listen, you're putting spoilers in chat 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. It's like, wake up.
Hold on. Hey, apparently it wasn't a spoiler because no X-Men. So
look, the best part of Oz's spoilers on Friday morning was his fake ass spoilers for the finale.
Yeah, the fake that was pretty funny. Even though I didn't know they were fake spoilers until after I watched the episode because I was like, I'm going in there.
I spent the whole day.
I'm going to that.
Look, are we gonna start the one?
Yeah,
so I can just lead it with that because I spent the whole Friday like just dodging shit on the internet, like. Mm-hmm. And anybody that at that, after like 3 or 4 posts that weren't really spoilery, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start yelling spoilers at everybody because I don't know what isn't a spoiler, And yeah, that was my thing that Friday. But Oz literally, man, I'm trying to find this message.
Well, the whole time I was doing that, I just pictured Lauren staring at his phone like just getting madder and madder, like getting ready to bust a caps lock on me.
Listen, I literally saw you post the first thing, and I was like, I'm not looking at that. and when I tell you, like, you could look at the chat log, like you'll see that I didn't mess around and like say anything to any of you in that chat until probably like late morning or Yeah. There's because I was like, I'm not about to mess around and go in there and look and see what he says because I don't know. Like Oz has already proven himself unreliable when it comes to not spoiling stuff. Like he can say something and I know that probably did happen or it didn't happen. But
Lawrence, what did I spoil from that show?
Look, listen, I'm gonna start with the text log. I got it right here. Friday, 6:26 in the morning, in the AM.
That's so wrong.
Yeah. I was just taking my first shit. Agatha is totally the hero in this thing.
Yeah.
And then I go, spoilers with 3 exclamation points. He goes, it's not a spoiler if I said it Wednesday. It's not like I talked about the strange things that happen between sorcerers of supreme power. I go, is there some sort of strange academy? He says, it was a fantastic episode. Don't read R-E-E too much into what I'm saying. I said, to which I replied, God damn it. He says, don't be so grim. At which point I was like, well, he probably just stayed up all night. And I said, you stayed up all night thinking these up, huh? And he just said, Victor Von Doom. And I was like, this motherfucker. So, I had thought of like stuff that, because it kind of, it could have seemed feasible. Some of them more than others, of course, but
I had a couple more coming, but I had to get back to work, so I just typed in I was gonna say something like, well, I brainstormed something, but I don't want Lawrence to sue.
It's very funny, dude.
I had a list.
That's
Stupid
funny.
work.
Oh man, no, and I will say that I had a good time reading the text exchange after
the fact. Yeah,
after I watched the show, because I don't know what I was doing over there. That fool's a loose cannon now.
Which
I can't,
the way the episode played out, like I was highly disappointed
by the final episode.
No, just the fact that a lot of things were not promised and were not delivered.
which is like, there is definitely an entire contingent of fans that feel that way, where they are like, how dare you not deliver on all of these things that I speculated in my head? Like all these things that I made up that I thought should be in it, you didn't put any of those in there, and now I'm very angry.
I was angry. I was angry for 2 seconds. And then I'm like, well, you know what? It's not like they said it. Like we just built it up in our head, and I was like, well, you know what? But then once I got to the credit scene, I was like, they gave me what I wanted. Wundagore Mountain and Cathan.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
What was it? Was Colorado?
I mean, what I will say, like,
it was the cabin from Evil Dead, which means that she got a hold of the Necronomicon. And she's gonna fuse that with the Darkhold.
Look, see. This is the Necronomicon. The Darkhold is the Necronomicon of the Marvel Universe, and it's written not by the Cthulhu but the Cathan.
Right.
And she's gonna like touch the tips.
Which is,
and they're gonna merge, and that's how the X-Men are gonna pop out.
Oh, look, Jesus! I'm still with the X-Men.
Darkhold.
In Wundagore Mountain, with the Darkhold, you can't do that without Cathan.
One of these YouTubers that have lost all credibility, were saying that that's the hold left behind when they lifted Sokovia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like thinking,
she's in the hole, the Sokovia hole.
Yeah, that's what this person was saying. And I was like, didn't Sokovia drop? Also, like it went straight up and then down, right? There wouldn't be a crater. And plus, there would be buildings.
That's hilarious. I'm like, that pristine lake is in the Sokovian crater,
right?
Look, that's interesting though. But it like the idea that somebody would think that, even the idea that you went to Wundagore Mountain knows this. I'm like, I didn't think that, but at the same time, it's like, hey, I mean, I guess it could be Wundagore, but
MCU Wundagore.
But it feels weird for it to be Wundagore. Like it would be one thing if she was raised there and then went back, but she's not. She's raised in Sokovia.
Call of Cathan.
What? Cathan doesn't have anything to do with Wundagore?
He's trapped in Wundagore Mountain. He's in prison in Wundagore Mountain.
But wait,
In fact, the Darkhold was found in a cave in Wundagore Mountain.
wait, the Darkhold is found in
Yeah.
a cave in Wundagore Mountain?
And it was written by Cthon.
I know it's written by Cthon.
Yeah.
I don't remember Wundagore Mountain being all that. Like I remember Wundagore Mountain. Like I know that's where, you know, Magneto took refuge,
Right.
and raised the kids there.
Yeah.
Or had the kids raised there, because he didn't really raise them himself, but you know, he had Magda do that or whatever.
And was they're like the men, was it Knights of Wundagore and those
Yeah,
or whatever?
exactly right. Like
Yeah.
all types of random crazy comic booky type things that are
Right. So
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these crazy comic booky type things, and then I try to put a little ray of comic booky sunshine in it with pixelated dots, and you're trying to take it from me.
I'm trying to take it from you, Will. That's what I do. I steal joy. Everyone knows that about Mary Young.
I'm just happy that I'm the one that was out here calling out these fake ass YouTubers that Wikipedia their facts and try to act like they know everything. While we're out here putting our necks on the line, and we're right, and you know we don't get the credit that we so richly deserve.
What will we write about?
That all those YouTubers are idiots.
Oh,
And none of the
Well,
theories.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was right because I'm the one that actually said it. I'm the one calling them out.
And
Wow.
I was
Yeah,
right
that's
that
true.
Vision wasn't Vision all along.
And I was right that Agatha is the real hero of this story.
I disagree with that.
As
No,
we see the creation of the Phase 4 villain, the Scarlet Witch.
Well, hey, that could be righter than we all know. I could definitely see that being a thing. I will say
Agatha sacrificed herself to free thousands of people trapped by this evil monster.
Look, I love how of all the people that you can look at and be like, oh, okay, they're the hero of this tale.
She is. What did she do that was bad? Name one thing she
I'm
did
not,
that was
I'm not
evil.
saying that she. I mean, she did some things that were kind of evil, but
Name one.
well, she created Wanda's fake, or made somebody into Wanda's fake brother.
That was to snap Wanda out of it because Wanda was
No,
taking
it's
control
not
of the
to snap
town.
Wanda out of it.
Yes,
No,
it was. She says it herself. That
She was trying to recruit her for a Strange Academy.
Oh, wow.
She even said, "I want to teach you how to do what you do." Like that's literally like how Strange Academy #1 opens.
She definitely wants to, you know, she tried to pitch Wanda on taking her under her wing, or taking Wanda under her wing. That definitely was something that happened. But if she was trying to break the spell or bring Wanda to herself, she could have done that and was actively acting against that happening. Like
that's all she tried to do. You
there's
can't,
only
you can't just walk up to her and try to do it because then you get expelled the hell out like Photon did.
well, I'm saying, look, that's the only hero in the whole thing.
Yeah, but
Like
then
Monica
people, like,
Rambeau is the only hero in the whole.
Yeah,
whole
but-
No,
I don't
Agatha
know.
is the
I'm
hero. Monica Rambeau is becoming a hero, and Hayward is a good director.
The thing is I want to call Monica a hero because they just cruelly, without due process, just sentenced someone to death, essentially, in a
Who?
weird life state. Agatha.
She's not supposed to
That
death.
was what the
She's
villain
like-
did to the hero.
She's trapped in her brain, living like that, and that's really cruel. That's crueler than Superman snapping in the Snyder Man of Steel, snapping that dude Zod's neck.
Hey,
Like
listen,
heroes aren't supposed to be cruel like that, Larry.
listen, I'm not disagreeing with
He
you,
seems
but Monica
too dark,
didn't do
but
that.
Here, this is a dark. She just let it happen. Like, oh, all right. Whatever.
How's she supposed to stop her?
Look? That's a hero does what a hero's gonna do.
I'm asking the question. Like, what was she
She's a
supposed to
tragic
do?
hero. Agatha is a tragic hero because
Agatha-
even though she saves the town, she saves the people.
How does she save the
but
town?
She's the Prometheus of the story.
Look,
Her plan was literally, let me take your power and I'll set this whole thing up so that it I'll fix it so that it'll work the way that it should, and you and your family can live here.
No, that was a lie to trick Scarlet Witch into giving up the power.
Why is that a lie?
Because she tells her, by the way, the spells can't be changed. I can't fix it for you. So she was trying to take away the power.
She said once it's cast, it can't be changed.
It was already cast, so it can't be changed. How is that different?
The difference is Wanda cast the spell.
Right. And so Agatha
she can take her power and she can recast a spell that will work.
No,
but that's not what
my Oz glasses, Rook. I'm gonna do an Oz impression.
She was just trying to take Scarlet Witch's power so she could free the people.
Where did he get those glasses from?
I have if I shine the I got all these props. Like my desk is actually
where did those glasses come from? The Oz glasses? Damn.
Yeah. This WandaVision is really Agatha's superhero origin, is what Oz would say.
It's her tragedy.
Mm.
It's her Greek tragedy. She's Prometheus. She
literally was
strangling
children.
She brought the light, and those children weren't real.
Mm.
She knew they weren't real.
Those kids didn't know they weren't real.
Whatever. Neither does the character in the video game I shoot in the face. Does that mean I'm a bad guy? Or am I the hero of that story too?
No, but
if you're playing Spec Ops: The Line, you're the bad guy.
I don't
they tell you.
That's a good reference. It's true. It's true.
Everything she did, everything she did was to free those people. And you know what? If Agatha was such a threat, such an evil person, Doctor Strange would have showed up because it's his job to monitor these people.
No, but that's the thing. It's not that, Doctor Strange would have showed up if it was such a big deal. It's that it's a little random corner. It's not like something made. Well, I will say this. It's not like it would instantly rate on his radar.
So Agatha cares more about these regular people than Doctor Strange himself.
She doesn't care about. She randomly came across the power. She happened to be in the area.
Hero,
she's like, what's
she's
that?
the hero you don't know about.
Oh, nah. I'm not buying that.
There's nothing she did that made me think she cared about anyone but herself.
She didn't care about anybody else.
She tried to free them from the torture of
she
the
didn't try. She freed them when it was convenient.
She tried to steal Wanda's power.
Right.
To free the people.
Try to feed them.
No, not to free the people. She was more than happy to let those people stay in whatever state they were in to keep Wanda happy to give her the power.
She wasn't.
She said that's what she said.
And that's
she admitted that was a lie to get the Scarlet Witch's power.
I don't remember that scene.
Well, then
where she says,
apparently,
I was trying to help
Marvel guy
people,
now because you don't know what the hell you're talking about anymore.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you want to tell me what scene it was, I'll listen, but I don't think it exists.
So one of the things that I got a lot of thoughts on it, and I figured we kind of go through the series since we only but we touched on it we touched on it every week more or less. There's things I couldn't say, but that episode that Oz hated, the one where they show the flashback and they give you the one that wasn't that good, was it 7 or 8?
Where they went back through her history,
right?
Yeah, I think that was episode. I think it is episode.
It's 8 because it was right before the 9.
Okay.
The last.
So episode 7 and 8 together.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Scorsese cannot say that superhero shit isn't cinema. Because that's all character shit. Like
I agree with you.
And granted, I've agreed with him in a lot of points, and this is like something I would, I might have to call him up and say, hey, Marty, let's sit down, have a whiskey, and watch something. It's 2 hours. Those 2 episodes together, I would throw in the finale too. That's 2.5 hours. That's still shorter than The Irishman, which I watched twice. So, on cinema, time-wise, it fits, and the character arc, and then even like if you look at Scarlet Witch's arc from Age of Ultron all the way to the end of this, it's one massive movie of character progression. Like
absolutely.
I was so mad that they didn't use her properly where I thought they should, and now it all pays off. And much in the way that I felt that the first Avengers movie made Thor like worth it. The first Thor worth it because I wasn't a fan of that movie. It just seemed kind of throwaway, but it built up. It led to the first Avengers movie, and everything that happened, it played off to this. And I don't know how intentional, how far ahead they thought, but it feels very natural progression and somewhat like the comics, somewhat different. But it's like that's a myth they made for her, and it's I don't know if it's a money saving tactic because they could get more out of this character because of the contract they signed with her over Robert Downey Jr., which they do spend a lot of movies with him too.
Right.
So, so the whole shit was amazing. Now, the flip side of that dark coin of taking comics and doing something I don't like, but then I'll like 10 years later is they invalidated Civil War.
How do you feel that?
Because what she did in Civil War didn't merit. Like I always had, you could go back into our archives. I felt that the stakes in Civil War were never that high, and the reaction to her doing her shit didn't merit the Superhero Registration Act. This because this is killing a lot of people. Look, government train derails, bad infrastructure, rogue CIA guy kills a lot of people. They don't do no act based on that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. This reality warping power, because even in Civil War, the comics, they bring that up. It was it was Nitro blowing up the Stanford Elementary School was a big thing, but it was after House of M, and it's like, look, we have intel that one of your superpower people could rewrite reality, and there's more,
right.
So now it's time to really do it because these loose guys are running crazy, but you got that too. So, so for me, like Civil War, if they would have found a way to do it, like Civil War after this would have made the stakes bigger.
See, go ahead. Continue.
But it happened the way it is, and now it's like, what's going to happen? Like, who's going to come after her? Since the heroes like to do a Civil War thing,
This is the whole thing, though. Like, feel like I get what you're saying, and I understand, and it makes sense to a degree. But I think the difference is like in Civil War happened, of course, both in the comics and the MCU in two different ways, but primarily it is about like, okay, hey, lives lost, and that was like the catalyst, right? And to me, it makes sense that that's enough because that's how politicians work, right? I mean, they're like, oh, this terrible event happened, and it's like somebody has to be held responsible, right?
Right.
Now the reality warping thing, that's not something you can legislate, you know what I'm saying? But House of M wasn't a legislation kind of thing in the comics because like what House of M really kind of, boiled down to was the Avengers realizing like, oh man, like Wanda is kind of a loose cannon here after the fact, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, the Avengers were the ones that were like, man, like we need to try to do something about this, but ultimately they're like, we don't know what to do because we're just trying because that's our people, and that's why you ultimately have the mutants that come in and they're like, I know that like you're her friend, you all are her friends, but we're actually her people. We'll take care of her. You all go off and do what you do. Like, we know we have a better idea of how to deal with this kind of thing than you do, which is not necessarily,
right.
One wasn't like necessarily the actual fact of the matter in the comics, and is probably not what's going to happen in the movies. But what it will do is the difference between Civil War and what could potentially happen now with Wanda in the MCU is that all the heroes are going to be on the same page after this, where they're going to be like, dude, like what Wanda did over there is not okay. Like nobody's going to feel that. It's one thing where, you know, like when you're Captain America and you've spent your entire life fighting wars, you can say sometimes it's collateral damage. And it's like, we weren't trying to have that happen, but it did happen and we're sorry about it. But we you know, you can justify it in a way. But when you're like, oh, well, wait, she rewrote reality for an entire town and made people into like puppets. Captain America is not going to be able to be like, oh, well, that's what happens sometimes. Like, right. And no other heroes. So it's literally going to be all the heroes versus Wanda.
But that's the
in
thing.
A way.
That big event was just a minuscule motivation when it came to Civil War, because Civil War was that big a thing. It became that big a thing in the comics. And that's why I say that this invalidates Civil War. Like, yeah, it's called Civil War, but it doesn't hold up a candle to the real thing, and even less now with this, you know. But it adds to my point that Civil War was a misnomer.
See, I feel like Civil War was what it was, and I think that's okay. Like, it's okay for the next thing to be bigger than the thing before it.
No, but with that name.
Sure. Like, listen, I mean, here's the thing. House of M did come before Civil War in the comics.
Oh, boy.
And there's some people that might say, oh, Civil War, like, was a bigger deal. But realistically, it's not. House of M was a bigger deal. And it came first.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, House of M was referenced in the comic because they're like, hey, like, that was part of the thing where,
right,
you know.
But it was only people knew about it. You know,
right,
what I mean?
Because
that's
only
a
handful of people actually remembered that House of M was actually a thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, and so that's the thing where it's like, this is like, they were like, oh, you know, the people that were on the fence about Superhero Registration Act, that was like the leverage they used, were like, well, I didn't want to tell you this, but you know they rewrote reality, right? And you're like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, you didn't used to be you. Well, what? What do you mean I didn't used to be me? Yeah. You know?
Speaking of rewriting reality, Tire Claw's got a great point and a great insight.
Wow, that does sound like which. So this is Tiger Claw from which Earth?
I don't know.
Not this one.
It's from FF New 52.
FF New 52. What's the point? Read the point, and Joe will put it into the chat or put it into.
It's his last chat.
Okay, fine then. Dang. All right. I was just like, wants to be. You want to read that, chat?
So Tiger Claw in chat says, next time we see Agatha, don't be surprised if she shows up as a babysitter for Reed Richards' kid in the future. I mean, with her being under that spell and all.
Wait, what?
So not only has Tire Claw confirmed that we have the Fantastic Four, but Franklin Richards is in it too. Like we're just skipping all that. Straight to the kids.
Why is Agatha the babysitter for the Richards family?
Because she's under the spell of Mephisto.
Oh,
if you notice in if you notice in Scarlet Witch's head crown, there was an M. Obviously, she's being controlled by Mephisto.
Tiger Claw actually did ask a kind of interesting question.
Why isn't the M for Maximoff?
Were you disappointed by the whole Quicksilver reveal?
Yes.
I was not. Anything that keeps the Fox X-Men away from the MCU is all good for me. I'm 100% for that. Like, I don't want that.
But the thing is, just keeping him, because look, here's the thing: you could have
a troll,
but no, because look,
yeah,
Marvel could do this. Like, they could take him from the crappy universe to the good universe, and just a good script with that Quicksilver in it. And I know it's not gonna be like Quicksilver, like I hate waiting in lines. Like that's why I hate you fucking humans. I hate
Right.
trying to deposit
That's
this
Quicksilver,
check.
right.
Like just standing in line. Why do you guys choose to stand in line?
Oh,
Like, it's not gonna be
boy
like
wasn't
that.
perfect, but he was closer to that.
He was closer to that, but they didn't let him. They didn't do anything with him, and he couldn't dodge a bullet.
He died.
Yeah, he couldn't dodge a bullet. And this
Well,
guy
he
like
can't
plays
dodge a
with
bullet. He can't dodge all the bullets.
Quicksilver in the comics could dodge all the bullets.
Well, yeah, sure. Everybody in the comics is more powerful than their MCU counterparts, right? All of them. Like, now there's not one person in the only person I could think of that maybe is not as capable in the comics, or actually I shouldn't even say that. The only person that might be the closest as far as like equal to their comic book counterpart is Captain America. I feel like Captain America in the MCU and Captain America in the comics feel like on par. Maybe the comic one like inches out the MCU guy because maybe he has like more stratagem and charisma. You know what I mean? Like he is like in comics, if you're like, okay, you're gonna make the best team in the history of all comic books, who do you put at the front of that team? Captain America is the right answer in comics. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like Captain America could lead Superman, and that would be a team that you can't beat. You know what I mean? Like that's that dude. MCU Captain America is not that guy, but he's damn close. But everybody other than that, though, everybody in the comics is more powerful than their MCU counterparts. And so I feel what you're saying, but I'm just like, that's not like news. Like
you just all that mattered my statement.
I didn't all lives matter anything. I just told you the fact of the matter. It's like you're right, but you're not saying anything that's not true for any other character in the comics.
Like I think that by definition, that's all lives matter.
Nah, I'm not counter protesting.
Oz had to leave because he's like, this is close to home.
I'm vehemently agreeing with you. I'm like, you're more right than you know. Look, all lives matter people aren't saying that to Black Lives Matter folks. They're like, yeah, Black Lives Matter more than you even realize. No, that's not what all lives matter says.
Remind me off the air to tell you what I told the client. Told me all lives matter. I don't want to do it. Like I would love to share it on the air, but it's not what we're doing today.
It's not what we're doing today.
We got to do a tight 2.
So let me ask you all this question about WandaVision. And like Jay, like I know you can't, like you waited for a few episodes before you started watching this joint. So your view will be different than Moses and I, who, you know, were watching from day one. But how did you all feel about the week to week episode rollout versus like, would you like knowing what you've watched now? Do you feel like the week to week was the right way to go about things? Or do you feel like, no, it would have been better off if Disney had just done like the Netflix dump?
I think that the week to week is smarter. And you forget, I did watch the first episode with you guys. It was just like 2, 3, and 4, I think. But I will say, every Friday that I do, because I took a couple weeks off of Twitter, but every time I would hit up Twitter on Friday, there would be at least Paul Tobin talking about the new episode of WandaVision, and that's how I would know it was on. And so, like, to me, that is how I knew it was like a thing.
Right.
And if I only got it that 1 week because he had binged it and it was done, like it would have been out of my mind like forever.
Forever?
Well, until you guys mentioned it.
Forever. And so,
because overall, that's how I actually feel about the entire series. It's like it's amazing when I'm watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and then once I'm done, it's like completely out of my head.
So is that like does that speak to how like is that like a deficit? Like, do you feel like if it was
Yeah.
a better show, if it was a better show, it would stay with you more?
Yeah, I would be thinking about theories and thinking about like what's going to happen next and wondering why this is happening or wondering why that's happening.
Mm.
It's like I didn't do that. Like it went off and then it was out of my mind until the next Paul Tobin tweet.
That's fair. What do you think, Moses?
I think the week to week. This is the one time where a week to week format for streaming services actually works.
No, wow.
And I can tell you, just because when it came on was roughly like halfway through the series is when I think at episode 3 we were allowed to open up again work.
Mm-hmm.
And my clients know I love comics, and we've been discussing this. Like, that's part of the reason they come to me is because that's part of the conversation. Like, it's like one dude just says, "Oh, I love that Monica Rambeau's in it," but he didn't know who she was. It's kind of like going by the YouTubers, and it's like, yeah,
Right.
it's great. And I'm like, no, but this is what needs to happen with her, and you might not get that here. Like,
Right.
it's cool that she's in here, but she's not doing realistically like the character's career. Like,
Right.
he did nothing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I know
So-
when back in the day when I first started reading comics, Monica Rambeau was the leader of the Avengers.
She was punching like heroes left and right that talked to her wrong. Like, she was a full-fledged character and a force to be reckoned with in the Avengers. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And
here it's
she faded from that prominence since then, which is really sad in
Right.
some ways. And you know, I can't say why that has or hasn't happened, or I can't say why that did happen that way. But
Yeah.
she's an amazing character.
like
I'm
honestly,
happy to see her in live action. Like,
and one of the things I told one of the first clients I took when we opened up was like that same dude that told me that was like, look, that first Captain Marvel movie should have been her movie. You know? But instead they got Brie Larson, Academy Award winner, and then just did a bad a bad Carol Danvers movie. So, because everything I liked about Carol Danvers they didn't do, which was the
That's fair.
whole like balancing non-superhero life with superhero life
Mhm.
was like made the comics good.
yeah.
But,
kind of stuff.
But the week to week, once we were open at work, the week to week, it became water cooler talk in this
Right.
new age of digital media. That's just everything gets dumped, and it's like you watch it, and half the time you don't get to talk to people about it. But this
Right.
WandaVision was water cooler television. Like it was must-see TV, and to its testament, it tried to give you that experience of classic TV from the 50s on the 2000s, and it managed to capture that in a meta way where it's like everybody I came in contact to was talking about it. I could literally, if I had nothing to talk about with somebody, I could say, "Hey, you watch WandaVision?" And they're like, "No, not yet, but I want to because of this. I don't have Disney Plus." And it's like, but it just looks weird. And I'm like, well, this is what happened. Like, you know what? I'm signing up for that trial right now.
Mhm.
So it became water cooler television around the workplace. And
Absolutely.
and it's like that. If you're on the week to week schedule, that's what you want. That's like, I can't even like, I was mad when Mandalorian did the week to week.
Right.
People talked about the Mandalorian, but not like they talked about WandaVision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true. Like, and I think that, a part of that was just WandaVision lent itself to people speculating, and that was something that people enjoyed.
And the movie's like laying the groundwork, and it goes back to that character. Like, you saying superhero shit ain't cinema. Like, they lay the groundwork so much so that people are like following it from platform to platform. Now this is get them to follow the comics, and then
Yeah.
then we're really like raking in the dough and quality product, because it's not like a bad quality show either. So it's
course not.
mini movies. Yeah.
Oz, what do you think, man? We were just talking about WandaVision's decision to come out weekly. versus it all dumping at once and letting it be a bingeable kind of show? Do you have any like based on what you've seen, do you feel like it would have been a better idea for it to like all drop at once, kind of like the Netflix model, or do you feel like it was good for it to do the weekly?
No, it's not all at once. They gotta spread it out so they can get their next show ready. Over now, get Bird.
Man, Oz was doing so good.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
No, I agree. I don't know. Listen,
it's like him blowing the mayor of Milan did nothing.
Black Compact says, "What is up, my dudes?"
Hey, what up there, Black Compact?
Fireclaw mentioned one earlier where I saw Joe's face light up when he said it, and I was trying to find my pen so I could mark it down so I could do that for our weekly post where it's like when Joe sees a comment that needs to be read now. But it says, Fireclaw says, I bet that what Moses was actually doing at the comic shop, standing by the water cooler, talking to his customers about WandaVision. And that actually did happen once. Like, we just took a break before the haircut, and it's like, just sit and talk about WandaVision for like 5 minutes.
No, I believe it. It is that kind of show. And, it's interesting because I will say this, like, I feel like one of my personal deficiencies is contentment. Like,
I know all those words, but I have no idea what that means. You got to dumb it down, doctor.
Like, my flaw is that I'm too happy.
Speak English to me, doctor.
And like the idea that a show like WandaVision exists just by itself satisfies me.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm interested and I want to know what's going to happen next. However, I'm not the person that's going to say, like, go and try to talk to other people necessarily and be like, here's what's going to happen next and here's why. Like, I'm not the theories guy. And I'm like that about TV. I'm like that about comics. It's like there's a lot of people that theorize about what's going to happen next in X-Men comics. I like listening to those things just because I find it interesting to listen to other people's theories. I'm not the person that's going to say to you, here's what I think that's going to happen next. I can tell you why your theory is no good. Or I can tell you exactly why, wow, you know what? I didn't think about that, but I think you're right. And that's supported by this and this and this. But I'm not the person that's going to speculate wildly about what's going to happen next because I'm very content to sit and wait to find out what's going to happen next. And so that's the only part of me where...
We need a new segment. We need a new segment of why your theories are bullcrap. Starring Norm.
We have a whole channel where we can do things every day.
I know, and I like that idea. I really do because and don't get me wrong, it's one of these things where it's like, especially for WandaVision, it's like when you're talking about a show like WandaVision, there's a lot of things that happen because of magic. Because magic is the reason that happened, right? And when the reason is because magic, technically anything's possible. Like, Mephisto could have been a part of WandaVision, and it would have been no less likely than anything else that happened. But it's like, and this is part of the reason why there's some people, like, I've talked to plenty of comic fans that are like, I hate magic books because there's no rhyme or reason to why things happen from their perspective, which makes sense because it's like, yeah, if you're talking about reason and magic aren't the same thing. Magic is the opposite of reason.
I literally had that that WandaVision water cooler talk. That's what this episode should have been called.
We could rename it.
No, it's already called Oz Blowed the Guy from Milan.
Wait, what? Is that I feel like that doesn't have to be the that doesn't have to be the title.
Stephen Gibson in chat says "Cause magic needs to be a shirt."
It's true. Look,
But-
cause magic. That's why.
But the thing is, here's the thing. I get, aside from WandaVision and fake literature that is impactful to my life, I have people trying to tell me I'm going to hell as clients.
Wait, what? Wait, how does the WandaVision conversation be like, you're going to hell, Moses?
No. I'm saying just like I do have those conversations, I have this conversation too.
Oh, got you. Oh,
yeah.
I'm like, man, that's WandaVision conversation.
It's like, when you say cause magic, they're telling me, I'm like, well, how did the air come to be? Cause God. Like, people live in that logic. Their whole they gamble their eternal soul on that logic. So you can't do it for a comic for 22 pages or a movie for 2 hours or a show for 28 minutes.
Hey, man, listen, it makes sense to me. Like, faith is faith.
Yeah.
So
like,
I get it.
So my sister, look, link, subscribe, hit the bell. My sister texted me saying, I finished WandaVision. I have a lot of questions. So when I actually got to see her, her first question was, huh? And, there's a video coming of me interviewing my sister and her interviewing me about WandaVision and comic history.
I'm so happy to hear that.
It's coming.
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to watch that.
But yeah, and that's one of the things. She's like, chaos magic. Like, did because I said chaos magic from the beginning. Like, I said it since Endgame. Like, we got in Endgame. Like, the one thing I liked was we got a sense of the chaos magic. Like, the way that shit broke down is chaos magic because she just willed it to just fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "What's chaos magic?" And I go, "Well, when you have something bad that's happening to you, what do? Oh, Señor reprenda al diablo, or the sign of the cross, or you read The Secret. That's what chaos magic is. Like,
wait,
that's all chaos magic. Like, you got
what is Señor?
Oh, that's what Christians do. Hispanic Christians is like, I rebuke the devil. Like, God rebukes the devil. Like that. That's all chaos magic. Like, anything bad that happens, you say something like a ritual and you say it. Like, it's disorganized rituals. And that's chaos. That's all chaos magic. Like, chaos magic is all
verbal hex bolt.
And then I told my sister, I'm like, you watched The Witcher, right? What happened in The Witcher? Like, chaos magic merged these worlds together into a big thing. And guess what's going to happen in Marvel?
Wait, that happened in The Witcher TV show?
Yeah. Like, that's how the world came to be, is through chaos magic. Like, because of the use of chaos magic, there was a convergence of different realities. Like, that's actually what happens in the Witcher mythos. And the book, the TV show says it, and you see it in action, kind of. But yeah, and then in the prelude to the game, it talks about
I gotta play that game, goddamn. I haven't.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
I haven't looked. I gotta beat that Griffin.
Yeah.
Are you still on the first Griffin?
Hey, you shut your mouth, Oz. No one asked you to have a good connection all of a sudden.
He's like, the Griffin is the Citadel.
That's the tutorial level.
Hey, no, it's not the tutorial level. Because the tutorial level, I would be in a pit fighting like my son.
No, it's the tutorial level because it's like the first thing you fight.
Hey! I didn't ask for you to have a good connection.
The one time he has.
I didn't
We still don't know what he thinks about the week-to-week format of Wanda.
You know what I think. Disney ain't got the content to just dump it like Netflix, so they got to do the week-to-week to stretch it out. I said this before. It's not a new thing.
No, but you say that like Netflix has the content to just be dumping stuff. Like, Netflix doesn't have that kind of content either.
And yet they keep just dumping stuff over and over again. Now, COVID slowed them down. But before then, they would just dump stuff.
So what would you say you're watching on Netflix that's much-watched TV?
I don't watch anything on Netflix.
Well, then,
yeah.
Aren't you, like, disproving your own point?
No, I don't. I just don't subscribe. Because there's nothing there I want to watch.
The thing about, like Larry said, Netflix has the amount of stuff, or no, Oz said it. They have the amount of stuff to just keep dumping, and they do. I just watched a movie the other day, and then there was another thing going, and then all of a sudden I'm watching Gilmore Girls, and there's a movie that references, and they think I might like it, and then all of a sudden the Gilmore Girls Netflix original is like trending. So they give you stuff to watch.
They made a Gilmore Girls Netflix original movie?
I think it's 6 movies.
Okay, well,
because they're all like 2 hours long, and it's 6 of them.
I don't need any.
Lawrence, just because I don't subscribe to it doesn't mean they don't have content. Like
I'm not saying they don't have content, but I'm like,
I didn't have cable for years. Doesn't mean that there wasn't 1,000 channels worth of crap coming out every day.
I'm not saying Netflix. There's nothing to watch on Netflix. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, WandaVision was the #1 show in the world for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
According to Disney.
See?
Because where do those numbers come from? Where do those numbers come from? They came from Disney.
So according to CPAC, like the whole country wants like
I'm just like so you feel like it wasn't the #1 show, or like I don't know. I mean, what are you saying? You're saying that I'm
saying we don't know if it was or wasn't. It's just what Disney wants you to know. I don't know. I don't know.
Disney's not the one that.
I don't know if they. I don't know how honest they were. I don't know if they could have been completely 100% honest. It could have been BSing us. We don't know. But I'm saying you don't know that.
So you. Well, I guess what I'm saying to you is like, I mean, if you're saying I don't know that because I didn't run the numbers personally, I guess you're right.
No, but Black Compact tells you who wrote the numbers, who ran the numbers.
I guess what I'm saying is
that's incorrect because the story behind what we're talking about said that it's the most requested. It didn't say it was the most watched. It was the most requested. That's something only Disney would know.
So then Disney gave you the wrong numbers, is what you're saying.
I don't know if they're wrong or not.
So I guess what I'm saying to you is like, so you don't believe that like the media wouldn't check any sources? Like you don't feel like they might? I
definitely don't believe the media would check any sources. Have you met me?
Okay. So
like he's still riding the fake news train.
The only facts that you trust are the ones that you verify yourself.
I don't trust facts that come from the company that stands to benefit from them. If it was if it was possible to get these numbers any other way than through Disney, then I would have more faith in the story. But right now, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I'll admit that Disney, the Disney company, is where these numbers would come from. And they stand to benefit from pumping up their own streaming service.
Hey, guess what?
They're raising the price of.
I'll give you that, Oz. I'll give you all that. That's fair.
But
what I'll ask you to do, what I'll ask you to do, Oz, is this. Tell me what show that's on Netflix right now is as popular as WandaVision.
I don't have Netflix.
Show, movie, whatever.
I don't have Netflix.
I'm not asking like, you if you have Netflix.
Yeah, it's like numbers.
I'm just saying,
Cobra Kai on?
Listen,
what's Cobra Kai on?
There's plenty. Cobra Kai is on Netflix now, right? Or no, it's on Amazon Prime now. Right?
I have more people who talked to me about Cobra Kai than WandaVision.
I don't
yeah, but you hang out with wrong people.
I don't believe you at all.
Hold on. Lawrence is asking me to say what I think has gotten more attention than WandaVision. Well, in the people that I talk to, since Lawrence wants me to pull arbitrary numbers out of my butt, I'm gonna say, hey,
you're the one that's saying like you don't believe media. So I'm like, okay, you don't believe media. All I have to go on is your personal experience, right? So
my personal experience, Cobra Kai is more popular than WandaVision then.
Right. Yeah. Out of the 5 people you come in contact with.
But that's what Lawrence wants.
Nielsen.
That's what Lawrence wants. I'm giving Lawrence what he wants.
No. It's not what I want. What I want you to do is to recognize reality.
Yeah.
that's what I want. But
Hector,
I don't know if I can have that.
Just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean it's not reality.
Hector Chat brought up a good point. He said,
"Oh boy." Thank you, Hector. That needed to be said.
That's actually his voice for all you new listeners. That's actually Hec's voice doing a Mickey impression. I don't want to tell you how the sausage
And
is
also,
made.
Zilla thinks that Cobra Kai came out 4 or 5 years ago, maybe season 1, but season 1 month and a half ago, 2 months ago, something like that.
I mean, no, like Cobra Kai is a great show. I'm not saying that it's not popular. It is.
No, I'm just arguing. I'm arguing with Hecht because he says Cobra Kai came out 4 or 5 years ago. I'm talking about the latest season, which was just
right
a couple months ago.
It wasn't a couple months ago. It was earlier last year, right?
No, it was January. It was like New Year's. It was like what we had to look forward to before the inauguration.
January 2021 is when Cobra Kai came out?
The 3rd season, yeah.
No.
I think it was supposed to come out like in March and they dropped it like New Year's Day.
Oh, you know what? You might be right because maybe we did binge it. You're right. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm still mad you didn't want to review the 1st season with us.
I'm still mad Lawrence
I
hasn't seen any of the Superman and Lois episodes.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that still a thing?
Exactly.
Oh, look,
Joe's
actually,
like, how come that's not canceled already?
it keeps getting better and better.
No, it
actually does.
Are you
It
serious?
does. Yeah, it's good. Look, why you think I brought up that point that like they say DC is too dark, but all of a sudden like Wanda just like rewrite some chick's mind and everybody's okay with it because it's bright colored.
Wait, who? No, listen. When people say DC is too dark, nobody is talking about Superman and Lois, okay?
It's because nobody's watching it.
They're talking about
Look,
Man
you
of
haven't seen the
Steel
first
and
episode. You haven't
Superman
seen,
breaking necks.
Larry, you haven't seen the first episode, so you can't say you're not talking about Superman and Lois.
I
can
absolutely say that.
They even tried to make it look like Snyder shot it.
Come on, man.
And it's still good.
You're gonna try to convince me right now that the show with Superman and Lois and their 2 kids on the CW is dark. That's what you're gonna convince me of?
There's nothing darker than that deep dark hole of parenthood.
Okay. Look, you saying that to me like you got kids.
Look, I don't have kids. I already saw the 14,600,000 possibilities where I did have a kid, and that's why I
even got you. Well, look, he messed around and used the hell out of that freaking time stone.
I'm working on the picture. Like I'm actually working on the picture of me like using the time zone. Like, I'm getting the right shutter speed and everything. Like I taught myself photography just to be
Wait, but it can't be your head. It's got to be like your cock. It's got to be doing that.
No. It's my head. It's my head.
Why does it have to be his cock?
Well, no, it doesn't.
That's where the kid comes from.
Yeah, but look. Here's the thing.
Damn, that
that's
almost
where it comes
sense.
from. It's like you know what I say. You eat with your eyes, like you see first, and then you want to eat. Like that's how it is. It's my head. Like,
wait, what? All I heard is you're trying to get Oz to eat your cock. That's all I heard.
No. Try.
Lawrence,
all right. Back to
WandaVision. That's reality 14,000,003. And somehow we still had a kid. Look, he's stuttering.
First of all, Mo has a red lamp, which means Mephisto's right in front of him. In fact, that little red thing sticking right up on his face. Okay,
Red Rocket.
I didn't want to say it. Lawrence, are you ever gonna watch Superman and Lois? Like you of all people, sure. I think.
Sure. You think I would like it?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Listen, I love it. I love how you all answered that exactly at the same time and had the exact opposite answers. And for that reason, I will make sure that I watch at least the first episode by next week. I'm going to try to watch more. I'm going to watch at least the first episode by next week. I've been meaning to. Like it's not like I've been conscientiously deciding not to. I just been doing other stuff. So, and I've been meaning to do it, but I haven't done it yet.
You know what?
So
what's going to happen is that's going to be Superman and Lois is going to be his excuse for not watching Snyder Cut. So, I was going to watch Snyder Cut, but then you told me to watch Superman and Lois because you said that's a better Superman.
I'm definitely going to watch Snyder Cut. It might happen over the course of like 3 days, but I'm going to watch it.
Well, it is like 15 hours long.
Well, there it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, But
And,
yeah. So
we got banned from Instagram for like 24 hours.
wait, what?
Why?
Why?
Because I posted a this day in Fantastic Forum history on Instagram, and it was a tweet that I put after coming out of Watchmen, the movie, and I posted parts of the trailer and edited my tweet in, and I don't know if you remember that night, Larry, but it was a vivid night for me because we went out drinking.
Yeah.
Then we went drinking at the theater.
Yeah.
And then we watched Watchmen. And then we were mad that people were like, I feel like I have to do math to watch Watchmen. Like, because they thought it was too intelligent for them.
Yeah.
And so we had that. And then, we went drinking after Watchmen.
Yeah.
And then
it was a good night.
Yeah, it was a good night. So my tweet was
I remember going out.
Yeah.
In the before time. I remember that. Like, remember that, guys? Remember movies?
Yeah.
Dang, that was so cool.
It's like I pre-gamed at the house. Larry picked me up. We went to the theater. We drank at the theater. Watched the movie.
Because we went to the Cinerama Dome.
Right, and then we drank after the theater.
Oh, dude, I got Hollywood.
I got home at 4 a.m. And then that tweet at 8 a.m. was like, I think Watchmen gave me a hangover. So I made a whole video experience with, my tweet and everything. And they're like, nah, Warner Media owns this.
So I was like, they banned you because you said you had a hangover? But no, it's because you were Watchmen clips.
Yeah. So, but the reason that relates to the Snyder Cut, because it's like, the Snyder Cut of that movie made it better too.
There's no Snyder.
Mo got hit in the face.
Yeah, the 7-hour movie, the 7-hour cut.
It's all like 4D, friggin' Manhattan dong.
That's where
like somebody just like smacks you in the face and
that's where that.
I'm like, wait a minute.
That's where that classic clip came from. If I can only find it.
Oh yeah, let's put that clip on YouTube and get banned again.
There it is. We've always said most dangerous comic book show on the internet, right?
Yeah.
On Instagram, we're too hot for Instagram. So wait, so that mean that we don't have Instagram right now, or do we have Instagram tomorrow?
I want all his penis. No, we have it. We have it now, but that was because that was March 8th, so that was 2 days ago. So that was 24 hours.
Dang. Yeah. Mo's out here. Mo's a rebel.
I wasn't even trying to be. That's the problem.
Dang. Mo don't even realize how rebellious his
all this is. To say WandaVision, folks.
I'm still in the hex.
I guess that's an endorsement. I don't even know. I guess WandaVision, folks.
I mean, look, you got Disney Plus anyway. What else you got to do, right?
Nah, but it was a good show. I mean, from beginning to end, I had mixed feelings. And then those mixed feelings just went away the more the series progressed. And what more do you want?
That's literally why Jay watched it. He had nothing else to do that day.
Yeah. Right. But the thing is, Joe has a whole other, how there's the internet and then the dark web. Joe's interest in terms of media entertainment, his shit is the dark web version of that. It's weird. It's animation, but it's animation that is drawn at 120 frames per second, but I want to see it at 12. And he has a whole website for that. So it's like he doesn't have time to watch WandaVision.
It's the idea that Jay lives the dark web in some way feels 100% true. It feels like Jay has a whole nother level of stuff that he's doing. None of us are a part of.
I'm gonna do a super cut of just Jay's little tile here, and you can see he's scanning, and he's actually watching shit he likes instead of us. Half the time we're doing the show.
Are you gonna try to zoom in with the glasses and try to get a reflection?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can post that on the internet.
Yeah,
we'll get banned from everything.
Well, that's the thing about Joe. Half the time it'll be PG shit.
I don't know. Get your blow. Get your.
Yeah, so
It's
your
a
connection's all
commercial.
jacked up. Your connection's all jacked up, but the one from your brain.
No, listen, it's like it's so true though, because like I've known Joe for over 30 years, and I know that there are parts of Joe's whole like world that I'm just not a part of, which is crazy because it's like you would think I would get tenure. You would think you would think like I'd be the first one to be a part of everything. Like he would come to me first and be like, "Hey man, you want to do this?" And if I'd be like, "Oh no, that's not my thing," then he'd be like, "Okay, well then I'll move on." But no, there's like whole things that Jay's like does and is a part of that I don't even know about, and I'll find out about it after the fact. I'll be like, "What, dude? Like what?"
At the
What's
same
happening?
time, I feel it's important to mention that you're very oblivious about things.
Larry,
But you
Larry
can't say
can
it's
be.
oblivious if I don't get read into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if Jay keeps to himself, it's like I'm not gonna stalk the dude.
Larry's
You know?
Larry's not a dude that's adept at seeing signs.
See, wait, what?
Hecht in chat says Jay is watching Infinity Train Steven Universe crossovers that haven't even been released yet.
That's 100% true. Facts.
All right.
Like
How do you do a 100 emoji in real life? How do you do that in real life? Just like
I've literally had to hang out with Joe. Like I think maybe we're hanging out, like sitting in traffic or something, where we have like 10 minutes to kill, and then I just see Joe and he's just like nodding, and he's like, "Oh no, he's watching stuff in his head." Like he's done that.
He's already seen the Snyder Cut because he was trying to watch Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, that happened.
I'm really not trying to watch that movie. Like
Snyder Cut or Tom and Jerry?
Tom and Jerry. Like I did try to watch it, but it was painful.
Like what? I don't understand what you even expected from a Tom and Jerry movie in 2021. Like what world do you live in where a Tom and Jerry movie in 2021 is like, oh yeah, this clicks?
It's not even.
Look, these like animated joints that they've been doing have not been terrible. I don't know if you've been watching any of them.
Like what?
Like the Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka movie.
Wait,
like that was actually pretty good.
Wait, what the hell is Jay even talking about? What is the Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka movie? What do you like? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's basically the Willy Wonka movie, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or whatever, but with Tom and Jerry inserted into it.
But
so they're doing their shit, like chasing each other.
Jay, why are you talking? Jay, you're talking about like a good movie and a good cartoon interlaced. Like that's not the same thing as like making a new thing.
I mean, it's a new thing.
It's not a new. I mean, sure, okay.
Yes. When a man and a woman interlace, they sometimes create a new thing.
But only one of them is wearing lace.
If you take out the Tom and Jerry parts of that, those movies are really good. So all you have to do is take those parts and put them into a movie.
Yeah, Joe lives in the hex.
Those classic movies, before you mess with them, are amazing.
I
do want to see Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka like that. That's something that sounds like.
Why do you even want to see that? Like,
okay, let me answer why you want to see that. Oh, God. Because they do the tunnel scene.
I didn't mean to ask that out loud.
You want to see it because they do the tunnel scene.
I don't know what that means.
You never watched Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
So
the scene where they're in the thing and they're going through the tunnel and Willy Wonka's reading that creepy ass poem.
Okay. They redo it in Ragnarok.
Why do I want to see that with Tom and Jerry as a part of it?
Because it's like the only known example of Tom and Jerry using the word hell.
They talk
in that.
I'm out. If they talk, I'm out.
No, it's not them. It's the little baby mouse that's with them sometimes.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
I don't. Like.
So
we
Wanda,
need to review this Wanda.
Let's finish WandaVision, then we can go into minutia.
I was actually gonna say we need to review the Willy Wonka Tom and Jerry.
No.
Cut.
We don't need.
I cut you up at W because. What else do we got to say about? I was gonna say Willy Wonka.
Let's talk about these WandaVision theories.
Cut you off at the W. How about that?
I'll be honest. When it comes to the WandaVision theories, none of the people I watch for theories were talking about WandaVision. So I did not get into that.
You didn't hear any theories, Jay?
Mm-mm.
Oh man!
Like none of the people I watched were talking about it.
That's fair. I wish I lived
Lucky
in
you.
Jay's world. I know, right? For real. Because
I went out looking for that.
Look,
stuff.
that's living in the dark web of reality. Like that's what living in the dark web of reality. They got bigger things to talk about.
I didn't have to
And
go
the
look for
WandaVision
it.
reality.
It definitely came to me where I was just like, "Wait, what?"
Well,
Like, first of all, even Oz, like just mentioning that other people, which I had seen already, but people saying like, "Oh, Agent Franklin," that's obviously a reference to Franklin Richards, which like Franklin Richards isn't even like Franklin Richards isn't in the Fantastic Four. Franklin Richards, Reed Richards' son, but his first name's Franklin.
Right.
You're like Franklin obviously is a reference to the friggin' Richards family, and it's like, why would Franklin, which is a relatively common last name, be a reference to the Richards family, which is another common last name, but it's like it doesn't make any sense.
well, and like one of the first things I talked about, because I went out looking, because hey, you know what? I'm not a big Scarlet Witch guy. So, hey, if there's something, and let's see what these people have to say. And like one of the first videos I saw, and I mentioned this way back then, was in the trailer there was a sword logo that was a necklace on Monica Rambeau, and these fools were saying that was an upside down cross because Mephisto. And I'm looking at it like that is obviously a sword. And it took like a couple weeks later before I guess they finally Wikipedia'd and said, hey, swords in this show, so maybe that symbol is a sword logo. I think they heard me calling them out, and went and tried to re-edit their statements.
That's what they did.
I feel like that's what they did. I don't know if I'm like being like malignantly narcissistic, but
You are a malignant narcissist.
I deal with that my whole life. But
I don't know what those two words mean when they're put together, but I like it.
He's a full look. His narcissism is full blown.
yeah,
Like chemo won't help that narcissism. we hit him with all the radiation we could, and guess what? It only grew the narcissism.
it needs gamma radiation.
It needs. Oh, damn it! We forgot to hit him with the gamma rays.
That actually make it worse.
Oh, damn it! He's friggin' full of himself and angry.
Now he's red Mo, not green Mo.
Oh, damn, red Mo. That's the rest of the world. Everyone knows that about Mo. Anyway.
Yeah, like I do feel like some of the shit we said they edited because of what we say, but there's no way to prove it. So I try not to worry about it. But it does wake me up at like 3 a.m.
Oh, real quick side note. Hex says, I'll see the Snyder Cut after it's all released. It's just going to be one thing, one like 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait to binge it. It's just one big 4-hour chunk.
Which is crazy. Because look, even Lord of the Rings is like, no, we're gonna stop at 3.5. and Lord of the Rings actually has the content. I guess I'm thinking out of turn.
Longer.
Is longer than 4 hours?
No, it could have been longer.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, it definitely could have been.
I think you can get a 6-hour version of the original.
Of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, the first one. There's like a super fucking there's a long. I think 6 hours. It could be 5.
But those are just parts of the second one edited into the first one, right? It's not like new content.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. Because I know there's stuff that happened in the Two Towers that actually happened in the Fellowship book, so they edit them into the Fellowship cut.
All I'm saying is this: is that Lord of the Rings, because of the level of detail and content that it has as a property, could probably justify a 4-hour or 5-hour cut. And I'm not saying that that's something that people want and that it'll be necessarily fun to watch, even though it might be. I would try it. What I can tell you is this: Zack Snyder's Justice League, I don't think it needs to be 4 hours. And I'm going to find out when I try to watch it
Next week.
Next week. You're right. Not this week.
There's an intermission too. Technically, it's like 4.5 hours because he has an intermission because
I'm just saying, like,
wait, why do we need an intermission?
Yeah, we're at home.
It's streaming.
People gotta eat.
I know we have paused.
It's not going to theaters.
I think it is.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Probably not.
Like, I thought it was just streaming. Like when we need to pee, we hit pause.
It's no.
Well, not only that.
Intermission.
Listen, you have to understand. You're overestimating Snyder fans. They will pee on themselves.
I think he's overestimating himself that I'm not going to turn it off after an hour.
you get to the first hour, you're like,
yeah, fuck this. Yeah, I know it's gonna happen.
It's got to be better than Tom and Jerry.
Listen,
Look, it might
nobody
not.
is comparing it to Tom and Jerry. Like, nobody is using Tom and Jerry as a bar.
Joe,
for anything.
Joe,
Jay's making me feel like I need to watch it now.
Joe, are you down to do a Snyder Cut, Tom and Jerry criticism, contrast, comparison, one shot on our YouTube channel?
I thought he was gonna say mashup. Like,
does anyone want that?
It doesn't. Fuck what they want. Like, we do what we want. That's why we only have like 5 watchers.
You killed Lawrence.
It hurts so much. Just the ideas.
Yeah. Look, Snyder got it cut. Why can't we do our Tom and Jerry?
Look, that would involve me finishing Tom and Jerry, and I don't want that to happen.
Look, you might not finish the Snyder Cut.
Is it that bad?
It's just so pointless. And the slapstick is not good.
Larry's having a conniption.
I just don't understand. Like, why didn't he know that when we told it to him before he watched it?
They toned down the slapstick. Like, it's not. I mean, we always talk about how classic cartoons, like, they went all out and they're all soft now. Is that what happened here?
It's just muted. Like, you know, like Tom and Jerry had like the really big reactions to things. Like, it's the same gags, but just like less reaction.
Does El Kabong show up at any point?
Wrong company.
No, they had there was the dude with the guitar, and like he would.
Oh wait, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he would smash with the guitar and go El Kabong, and then he'd use
that was someone different.
Guitar string.
Yeah, he didn't say El Kabong. No, El Kabong is the horse. Quick Draw McGraw. That's his secret identity, or his alter ego.
Larry's like, I want to talk about WandaVision.
These are the cartoons of our childhood, Lawrence.
Yeah, but we're old as fuck and nobody gives a fuck about our childhood.
No, but here's the thing: Tom and Jerry's not actually like our childhood, right? Like Tom
It's
and Jerry.
mine. I was watching Tom and Jerry in my
Was Tom
childhood.
and Jerry around before we were kids?
Oh,
Yeah,
probably.
but it was still on while we were kids, and they were still making new episodes while we were kids.
I mean, but
The Dick Van Dyke Show was before Wanda was a child, and yet that was part of her childhood. So much so that it was half this. Goofy
Yeah, but
TV
that's
show.
because she lived in a shithole country.
Yeah, they had like bootleg, like those bootleg countries. Like that doesn't count for them.
I mean, I grew up on I Love Lucy.
but it's not part of your childhood. It's like you watched
I was a
it.
child in the hood watching it.
You watched it. That's look. I'm not saying you didn't watch it. I'm saying it's not part of your childhood. Like it's like you watched it.
But that makes it part of your childhood. Like,
okay,
whatever happens to you in your childhood is part of your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bad and the good. But we're not doing that show today.
So, what else do we have WandaVision to talk about?
Yeah, thank you, Joe,
are we done with fan theories? Are you guys?
Let's do the fan theory.
Yeah,
there's more. There's more. Like Larry, what was your favorite fan theory? Like that didn't. Well, yeah. What was your favorite fan theory? Period. And which one was the one that you were happiest to see not happen?
Oh well, that one I'm happiest to see is the introduction of the X-Men, obviously.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me to introduce X-Men through the WandaVision TV show. Like, it could have happened because you're right. Like, she has enough power, as was demonstrated. Like, you know, she's like rewriting reality. So, and I feel like all the way up until the finale, there were people that were saying like, "Oh, okay, well, what's going to happen is in a similar way as Monica Rambeau's DNA has been like rewritten because she's going in and out of the Hex. The Hex is going to expand, and Wanda's going to create a whole like litany of mutants throughout this particular part of the world, and then those people are going to be the original X-Men. Is like, and I'm just like, that's such a bad idea. And if that happens, I don't know how I can feel about it after. Like, can Marvel Studios like pull that idea off and save it? I'm like, I don't think they can. And I'm like, so I hope it doesn't happen, because if it does happen, then I'm like, ugh, like that's a messed up way to like start off mutants. But it could happen, and I'm just like, well, I'll brace myself, but I doubt it, because that's a bad idea, and I don't believe that Marvel Studios is gonna sign off on like a bad idea like that. But you know, I'm like, here's the thing. It's like one of those things where it's like, on one hand, you have like Captain America and like Infinity War and like, you know, Thor Ragnarok. And on the other hand, you have Guardians and what looks like is going to happen with the Eternals. So it's like, who knows what could happen, right? So
I was hoping we wouldn't talk about that today.
I'm just saying.
Have you heard the latest theory on how they're going to bring in the mutants?
I don't know. Maybe. What is it?
Because as part of the backpedal, some of these people are. Well, a lot of these guys
because they thought mutants were going to come. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of these.
They're like the QAnon people, but for comics.
A lot of these Xanon folks.
Xanon.
They started like, now they're saying, well, WandaVision wasn't supposed to be the first TV show to come out. It's supposed to be like the third or fourth one in phase 4. And so now they're saying Eternals. Eternals is where the mutants are going to come in, because the Eternals, blah, 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 apocalypse, blah, 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 mutants. Ta-da.
Why apocalypse? Where
Tiger Claw in chat says maybe mutants will show up in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That would be a bad idea. There's no good reason for mutants to be in that. But okay.
There was no good reason for that chat comment.
Jesus, well.
My favorite thing is just I was on board with the Mephisto just because of the tie-in with actual House of M. But
wait, what?
There was a point where in one of the episodes they say the word nightmare, and videos like just kept showing up on my time feed about, well, it's actually Nightmare. It's not just Mephisto. It's Nightmare, and that's the villain behind everything.
Yeah.
Because they said the word Nightmare, and that's just where I just had to sit back and laugh. I might have mentioned it during the show as a joke.
It's such a common word, though.
But everything was common that they showed. Like the devil's in the details. Like that's literally a cliche. And they're like, that's it, Mephisto. But it's like, Disney's not going to put out nothing related to the devil, period.
There was a person that was saying because the rabbit's name was Senior Scratchy, and Scratch is a nickname for the devil. That
When you
means
don't wanna
that
say the
Funny was
devil.
Mephisto.
That is too deep. That's too deep to cut.
Scratch is a nickname for the.
You never read The Devil and Daniel Webster, Larry? Like, you went to college.
You know, Scratch.
Yeah, that's what they call the devil. Like, that's his
Wait, what? Scratch?
Scratch.
No, I've never heard
That's
that.
what they call the devil when they don't want to say the devil. Like, even like in The Devil and Daniel Webster, like, he introduces himself to Daniel Webster as like Mr. Scratch.
I've never read it.
And you went to
Did you
college.
watch The Devil?
Like-
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Joe.
Oh,
I was just gonna devaluate Larry's education as a whole, but go ahead.
no, I think they also call him Scratch in The Devil and Daniel Mouse.
Oh yeah, because that's a parody of The Devil and Daniel Webster.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
And they
Never
call
read
him.
Which you should have seen that because
Yeah.
it came on when we were children.
And I think isn't that what they called them in whatchamacallit, in the Rick and Morty episode?
That I don't remember.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind too that I went to an HBCU, so I got to like actually read like our authors of color as well. So maybe we didn't.
Well, not as well. Instead, clearly.
Not. I mean, listen. I don't know what to tell you. It's like there's so many white authors that people want to hold up. So I guess Daniel Webster doesn't make the cut for like the.
Like, you didn't even watch that episode of The Simpsons when Homer sold his soul?
But he doesn't.
Sure I did.
They don't call him Scratch in that though.
Right, but I just want to see, like, did he even get the joke, like, of that episode?
So where he becomes a donut, right?
Yeah,
What joke that he sold a soul?
yeah, like it was a parody of The Devil and Daniel Webster.
I don't think I got that because I never.
Look now, so your homework, your Fantastic Forum homework now is read that book and then watch that episode of The Simpsons, and I expect a one shot next week.
Also, watch the cartoon if you get it. If you have the opportunity.
I'm not gonna do any of that because unfortunately I'm gonna be watching Superman and Lois. So that's what you all get. Like I'm trying to tell you all that. Like that's where I'm gonna be focusing my time. Look, Superman and Lois, and then eventually the Snyder Cut. So I don't know.
So we're gonna get Man-Thing now, finally, right? Out of this WandaVision thing.
Oh, because of the nexus of realities.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I will.
But
Honestly,
the thing is, Iron Man 3 laid the groundwork.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I don't feel like there's anything. There was a point in time where I had said to myself, like, there are things that aren't going to happen in the MCU. That day's done for me. Like especially after WandaVision, because here's the thing. In all of my time, never in a million years would I've thought that I would have seen like the synthesoid Vision in live action. I never thought I would see a friggin' white Vision that is devoid of emotion in live action. Like, it's one of those things that's like, you know how deep of a cut that is as an Avenger fan? Like, there are people that say they like Avengers and have actually read the comics, but don't know anything about that because it's like a moment in time. And it's not like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, this is something I wanted, because I didn't even know to want it. You know what I'm saying?
You argued against that at one point.
Yeah.
You said it wasn't going to happen.
Well, because it's like, why would they do that? But they
Now
did
you know
it.
why.
But they did it. And guess what? It was amazing. And I'm just like, wow. So as far as I'm concerned, like Rocket Raccoon and Groot was one thing. White synthesoid Vision, that's a whole nother level as far as I'm concerned. So if you're like, oh, can we get Man-Thing? Sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
We're set up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why in the world would you not want Man-Thing? What else do you want? Everything's on the table, goddamn. Like, whatever.
The thing is, they laid the groundwork.
You want friggin' Ghost Rider 2099. That might happen. Look, who am I to say that it won't happen? What else? Like, what else you want?
WandaVision just kicked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. completely out of the MCU.
Oh, well.
How so?
The Darkhold in WandaVision is totally different from the Darkhold in
Is that what it is? Is that why I got kicked out of that Reddit group?
That, yeah. The Reddit group.
Now, wait, but why? Oh, go ahead, Mo.
Oz, you want me to answer your question, or you want Larry to ask his question?
No, go ahead, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got kicked out of a Reddit group because somebody said it's the first time we see the Darkhold in the MCU ever. And I'm like, well, it came out in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and because I know that's the one season, like that was the half a season I did watch, and it was technically still in the MCU then,
right?
Because it was tying into the Doctor Strange, and I didn't even get a response. I just got blocked from that group because like the actual the leader of that group was the one that posted that question. So when I said that, I just got kicked out.
I feel like that's valid 100%. Like I don't feel like it's
totally valid. Because
when
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started, it was supposed to be it was part of the MCU, but the Darkhold there, like it's actually just a book that says Darkhold on it too. It's not like creepy looking like the WandaVision Darkhold. And I think
so you're saying what? Like so the premise you're going with is the magic book can't change its cover?
Well, if you let me finish, Lawrence.
No, I'm asking the question.
I believe the Darkhold in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended up in the hands of Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And what?
And it's a different book.
So
it's a bootleg Darkhold.
There's no way.
It's a different book. Why? Because it looks different.
140, 147. That's next.
It not only does it look different, the information in the pages is different. It's a completely different book.
How do you know?
I saw the show.
But I'm saying it's a magic book. Why can't it look different?
You don't understand.
Because magic. We talked about this. Like you believe
I'm just
in
saying,
white Jesus. Like
the random shit changed all of reality. But the book can't change reality? Or it can't change its cover?
She didn't change all of reality. She just changed that localized area, that hexagonal area. Also, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the last season started screwing with time, so they created other timelines and all that nonsense.
Tiger Claw says maybe the Darkhold and WandaVision is a second print.
Oh, Jesus.
in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., towards the end of it, the Triskelion is still there.
What?
Wasn't that destroyed in the MCU?
I don't know.
Not when that took place.
I'm just saying, like, you just said that there's all these different timelines in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, like, why can't it? There's no good reason it can't be the same Darkhold.
Fake ass Marvel fan.
Well, here's the thing. There's no good reason why that Reddit moderator couldn't answer my question.
You're too real.
With that too.
Like, it's bad. Maybe he banned me because I did put a link to the show that we're going to be talking about it this week.
Chat 77 says I saw WandaVision, so I joined. What's up, everyone?
What's going on?
We're talking about all the random shit that happened in the series and our thoughts on it. Like you got to rewind an hour and 25 for our review. But YouTube just talking shit.
We're sitting here on YouTube telling you why you shouldn't listen to people sitting there on YouTube talking about these shows.
Listen, Chet, if you want to get down with the show, go ahead and go to I guess technically you might be able to depending. I don't remember where it is. Oh no, Twitch. I guess Twitch doesn't have like the direct link to like just call into the show. But if you're listening, Chet, you can either go to
fantasticforum.live. There's a
Yeah,
call
go to
button.
Fantastic. There you go. Hit the call-in button, and you can join the show and tell us what you think of WandaVision if you would like to do that. And that's
Or
not an
just say it in
invitation.
chat, like if you want to like write a thesis, and we'll get to it in about 10 minutes. Like, we can do it.
And that's not an invitation only to chat. Whoever's listening, if you want to go to fantasticforum.live and call in and tell us what you thought of WandaVision, why you liked it, why you hated it, what your favorite fan theory was, or what the most ridiculous one you thought was, feel free to jump in and let us know.
Tiger Claw says there was a theory in which the rabbit was Agatha's familiar.
Yeah, I do remember that as well. Which, you know, it's really interesting because the Agatha being or Agnes being Agatha Harkness is probably the one fan theory that actually panned out right. Like, which makes sense because it was pretty obvious, I think. Like, I feel
Well,
like
when I pointed out that the little cameo on the necklace, remember episode 2? And then everybody ran with that too.
what, like the death thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're right. But that doesn't really play. That didn't really play into anything, right?
Yeah, that's what she was wearing when she was killed by her coven.
That's what her mom was wearing. She took that off her mom's dead body.
Black Compact says, I just loved how Han played Agatha, period.
Yeah, no, she was great. It's interesting too because it's almost like she plays it very much like she was a completely different person when she was like in the sitcom role. Like even in the end, in the finale, like when Wanda turns her on as the nosy neighbor, it almost feels like two completely different people.
And even like just from a more reality-based perspective, like I've seen her in a lot of movies, and Catherine Hahn, and she's great at those, but she's kind of been typecast.
What?
Like just the nosy neighbor mom that's kind of wild. Yeah. And that's kind of the role she played here at first, and then they gave her an opportunity to like really show some range and I liked her in all those movies. I wouldn't say I'm like a fan of hers, but I enjoyed her in all those movies, and when she's in it, I know I'm gonna have a good time no matter who the lead character is. Here it's like they gave her a chance to spread her wings and show her range. Chet in chat is the same.
Chet77 in chat says, okay, so I loved WandaVision. One thing I was curious about was when Vision was fighting his alternate self, it looked like they were fighting in what looked very similar to Doctor Strange's library. I know a new Strange movie is coming out soon, so I wonder if this is a link.
I think that was not done deliberately. It is there. It is the Westview Library. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but your connection.
You're just saying exactly what I was going to say. So go ahead.
Yeah, there is a aesthetically there is a correlation, but that's just the Westview Library. But I think we're going to see that White Vision seek for answers because he's the technology-based life form with now the memories that may, the philosophical debate, the memories make your soul, that kind of thing. He's going to go, I think he's going to go to Doctor Strange for answers. And this is one of these YouTube theories you shouldn't listen to, but you should listen, at least to this one. Just hit the like and then tell me I'm full of shit, 2 years from now when we finally get to see it.
Even if Vision doesn't show up in Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch is confirmed to be in that movie. Right. So there is a link.
Chet77 also says, I wish the final episode started with an Agatha all along intro instead of a WandaVision intro.
They released that track, right? Like you can just download that song.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. That's pretty cool.
I love that because that's one of the sitcoms that I cherished as a child. That according to Larry wasn't part of my childhood, but I know it was, even though it aired decades before, because I used to like sneak out of Sunday school to go watch it. So it's definitely part of my childhood. I don't give a fuck what Larry
bad.
did.
Early on, you were saying you were hoping for that Monsters.
I was disappointed that they skipped through like the 50s and 60s without a Monsters thing, and then they did it with that, and I'm like, and it just fit Agatha all around. So I like they could have put that anywhere, and I would have been happy. Check.
Best 30 seconds of Mo's life.
That might be one of those segments to cut out. I could have put that anywhere, and I'd be happy.
So I was gonna say that I do think we might get a bit of White Vision in Doctor Strange, but I don't think he's gonna seek out Doctor Strange. I think he'll just be maybe following Wanda. And
that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. So.
I mean, he got all his memories back, right? Like, here's
the thing: like, why'd he leave if he's just gonna follow her?
Well, I mean, you got some stuff to work out, right? And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, because I know that there are definitely people who have, I've had conversations with other folks, and they're like, so he has all the memories that, like, basically people were like, the construct Vision from inside of Westview gave him all his memories.
Right.
And it's like, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's what happened. I think he just unlocked the memories that were already there. So I think White Vision has memories up until his death.
Right. Exactly. And that's the whole thing that I feel too. And that's the thing which ironically enough would actually be very similar to what happened in the comics, in the sense that the construct Vision only had memories up until a certain point, and because he had no emotion, he initially didn't have the kind of feelings that Wanda had for him, because he wasn't really capable of that initially. He's like all logic. So he remembers stuff.
Is that when Wonder Man came in and be like, hey, let me give you a new vision, and put on those glasses?
I mean, Wonder Man, like, that's like a love triangle-ish kind of thing that happens, but then that's a whole thing that you have to remember that this is like the difference between the comics and the movies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what Wonder Man's like, if I'm not mistaken, Vision's person, or at least a part of Vision's personality, is based on Wonder Man.
Yeah.
So it's like they're technically very similar in personality, even though Vision, of course, is different. Like, Wonder Man is definitely a lot more like cavalier about everything and carefree.
Yeah.
So
Wonder Man would be like, let me give you a new vision. Vision with Wonder Man's personality would be like, please, madam, allow me to introduce you to another way of looking at things, and puts on the glasses, still the same.
Were you all aware, or did it hit your radar, the controversy about the line in the episode that Oz hated, about the whole line about grief being love persevering?
I saw that, but I wasn't aware of any controversy.
It was a controversy. I thought that was being praised as a,
like, I was too busy. Yeah, I was too busy worrying about Dr. Seuss being canceled.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it was being praised, but there were some people that felt it was being praised too much. And so then, of course, this is the All Lives Matter parallel here, right? where there's some people who are like, oh, well, we know that you all like that or think that that's great, but it's not as great as you think it is. And so it actually became like a meme where people like took that scene and started like putting all types of things in the place of like grief and love, and but people basically, like, the internet collectively decided that line is overrated, and decided to let everybody know that they thought it was overrated.
But I can tell you this,
people liked it.
I can tell you this, Larry. The people that are thinking it's overrated also were like, we live in a society. Oh,
Right.
We live in a society.
Exactly.
I would
No,
also
agree with you
point out
100%.
that the people who wrote that line and shot that episode were not thinking we're gonna change the world with this line. Like that's just something Vision would say to try to make Wanda feel better.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: whether they felt they were going to change the world or not, it resonated with people.
For
And I
bad.
think that, I think that that's the whole point. Where it's interesting that we live in a time where people decide that it's like, oh well, that resonated with you. Well, guess what? It shouldn't have. And it's like, why? Like, why do you even care?
Yeah.
It's like if
The
I
internet,
like
man. I don't know
It's
why
like
people
that
go
tell
there.
you- It's like people that tell you, like, yeah, you know what? You shouldn't like Stairway to Heaven.
right, it's like, dude, like, why don't you like? If you don't like it, that's fine, and nobody's telling you have to like it. But if I go ahead and say, hey, man, damn, that was great. Why do you have to come on and be like, you know what? It's not as great as you think it is. And like, what? How does that forward the conversation? Like, I'm just like, what exactly is the purpose of you trying to steal joy from people?
Like, if we're gonna stop people from stealing joy from other people, then I don't know why I'm on this show.
Well, Larry,
Well,
look,
hey,
look, 30 minutes in the show, Larry was trying to take my joy.
how?
Like he literally said, I'm here to take joy.
I think I did say that.
You
but
did
I was
say that.
being-
I
but
have
I
it
was
written
being-
down. I'm here.
I was
I'm
being
written down.
facetious.
Oh well, it didn't come through.
Oh,
Your
but it's a
connection's a little wonky, so
right. Well,
the
you know what?
facetiousness didn't come through.
I'm on Moline Mobile, so
Yeah. Milan.
Come on,
Milan Mobile. I'm sorry.
Look, Milan Mobile at its best right there.
Listen, so but here's the thing, like
right now.
What he was trying to say was
but I will say this, like
see, there you go. Something Athens.
just put it in chat, Oz. Just put it in chat. We'll read it out loud, I promise, goddamn.
Even his finger didn't come out right. He flipped you off like this.
I don't know what's happening.
How do I get
I'm
into
like,
chat?
oh, goddamn. Jeez. I'm like, damn it. I promise we will share your thoughts, Oz.
Put it in private chat.
I know. Oh man. But no, I mean, I was watching the show myself, and that line got said, and I was like, damn, like audibly. I was like, damn, that's a good, like, I was like, wow, like they are writing their asses off in this show. Like I literally was like, kind of like, wow, like, because I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's like the most original thought that's ever happened or ever been written. Like, it's like, yeah. I'm sure that there are other versions, like that sentiment, I'm sure has been said in other ways somewhere.
From going to film school and script writing classes and everything, I can tell you, I went to Psychology 101. They went to 202 with that line.
But what I will say is, I don't know that I was necessarily expecting it in the setting that I got it. It's like, even though WandaVision obviously is a show that's dealing with, emotional issues and dealing with, like processing grief and, like literally like it's dealing with, issues, like emotional issues on a little bit more than a surface level. It's still not the kind of thing that I necessarily would have thought like, oh, I'm going to get, a line like, what is grief but love persevering in my comic book TV show. So I was just like, oh, wow. Like, dang, like that's pretty amazing. And I know, for me personally, it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like being being like taken aback by it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody else going online and saying I was taken aback by it. But apparently there's a sector of the internet that was 100% like, how dare you? How dare you? And they're like, it's not enough that we don't agree with you. We have to make fun of you, or we need to let you make sure that you know that we don't agree with you, and we need to make fun of you for even holding that line in any kind of regard other than, regular script. So it's just like, it was a weird thing to me. I was like, wow, like this is kind of crazy because cats were like hardcore, like, it was definitely like a counter movement. Yeah.
It happens.
Well, it's
happening
weird
now, like with the whole Lola thing, Lola Bunny.
Oh yeah.
No, but that's not the same thing though. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like Lola Bunny is a different thing, because why? Like I remember Space Jam back in the day, and I can 100% understand why there are people that are like, man, they didn't change the hell out of Lola Bunny because Lola Bunny was hypersexualized back then. She looks completely different now, and to not acknowledge that difference is ridiculous because it is different. However, you should also acknowledge why it's different now than it was then. Like just acknowledging the idea that it's like, yeah, back then that was okay. And now people are a little bit more aware of what they're doing, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we should change that."
And
Black Compat says #Lola Boobies Gate.
I know. Are we getting into a news segment, or is that what we're doing? Because I know that was in the news production. Should I play the music, or are we
comparing it to the people like that hate that line? Because there are a lot of people that are just actively like saying, if you care about this, like you're a loser, and like they're like actually just going after people that are complaining about this or that have questions about it.
But I feel like that's two different things though still. Because go ahead.
The Lola Bunny thing is like, yeah, they're mad that she's not hypersexualized, but it's like, no, like you want animated like sexualization, like you can get that anywhere. Like Lola Bunny is not your only way to do it. Like
it's not that you can get that anywhere. It's like technically she shouldn't have been hypersexualized in the first place.
Right, but I guess I don't know. Like
I think you do know.
No, but the thing is, we saw it kind of with the Spider-Woman Milo Minara cover.
No, that's a different thing.
No, it's slightly different, but it's like, you call it sexualized, but like to me, I didn't think she was sexual. Maybe because I didn't hit puberty when Lola Bunny first came out.
Just look at her now. Like pictures?
I think she could still look fly. She's just wearing baggy clothes. Like she's a lesbian now. That's all the difference to me. She looks the same. She's just a lesbian.
She's not a lesbian.
How do you know? You haven't seen the movie.
You haven't seen it either. You don't know that she's a lesbian.
No, I'm saying she looks like a lesbian now.
But
like
she
that's
doesn't.
it. Like she still flies.
She's literally just wearing a basketball uniform.
Right, but it's baggier than the one she wore earlier.
It's not. But dude, it's like you're like what Lola Bunny is wearing in the new movie is more akin to what a WNBA player would be wearing now, than what she was wearing. She basically in the old Space Jam was wearing like a halter top.
Yeah, she was playing. She was an Olympic volleyball player. With
she's not an Olympic volleyball player.
No, but with the way she was wearing.
But you understand that what basketball players wear and what Olympic volleyball players wear aren't the same thing.
But they didn't have WNBA back then.
But it doesn't matter. She was playing basketball.
And I know personally.
Don't pretend like you don't understand.
I've seen dudes with no shirt play basketball.
But not women.
Like there's a thing, shirts and skins in basketball. Like
Mo.
Like what people wear when they play basketball, I don't pay that much attention to.
So women when they're on the skins team, they just go straight up like no bra, nothing.
I'd never seen a women's skins shirts game.
Oh wow, well there you go.
Yeah.
There it is. What are you gonna say, Jack?
But it was AV. But I was saying I'm not really I'm not really concerned with the uniform. Like I actually do like the new uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's just changing the breast size, which yeah, that was the only thing I was like, well, they didn't need to do that. Like, but I do like the new uniform.
Nah, but she
But
might
the
get
breast size I thought was like weird that they would, or not weird, but unnecessary.
Well, that's the thing.
Again,
That look, I didn't see a difference in size. I just thought
I mean,
I guess that's how I look at it.
She's smaller than Lola from like the Looney Tunes show.
I didn't pay attention.
Listen, I'm saying like the bunny back in the day had larger breasts because they wanted her to be sexy.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, you dealt your hand, and you should stick with it.
No, you don't have to stick with it. There's
You take a hit.
I said, I didn't say they have to. I said they should.
Why? Why does the cartoon rabbit have to be sexy?
Why does having boobs automatically mean you're sexy?
It's not having boobs. It's like why does it even matter either way?
Why does it matter that they changed the character? What are you asking?
Yeah, I'm like, Lola Bunny doesn't exist anywhere other than Space Jam. It's not like she's like...
That's not true. She exists in the Looney Tunes show, and she exists in Rabbit Run.
Okay, fine. So she has big breasts in all those shows?
No, she has like small, like or average size in a Looney Tunes show and Rabbit Run. But
are they similar size to what they are in Space Jam?
No, they're much smaller. No, Space Jam is much smaller than what she is in Rabbit Run.
Black Compat in chat brings up a good point. Why does a bunny need to triple D cup?
It's not that. I mean, it's just the change I don't like.
Well, I'm just mad that it's not like 8 of them, like 8 triple D cups, like because bunnies have more than one titty, or more than 2 rather.
Not anthropomorphic ones.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just the change. Like that, I'm not a huge fan of change, especially when I feel like you're doing it for like an asinine reason.
Like, what's the asinine reason?
Catering to the woke social justice warrior crowd.
But is it woke social justice warrior crowd, or is it like, well, kids might watch this, and maybe we don't need to sexualize the female rabbit cartoon?
Okay, here's the thing. 1, just because she has boobs doesn't mean you have to sexualize her. 2,
she has boobs. They're not. It's not that they're not boobs. They're just not as big as you.
Are you saying she was sexualized in the original?
This erasure of boobs is harmful to children.
It's not erasure. They're just smaller.
It's a reduction.
I think it's harmful to children.
It's what happens.
Big boobs are going to have self-esteem issues.
So Lady Moon Fry did the same thing.
If anything, the creators are saying that if you have large boobs, you can't be a good leader because they said that was what they wanted to focus on was her leadership.
And that here's where we get into the bigger philosophical question that we kind of don't want to get on the show because it's like a 45-minute segment, but it's like, why are boobs that important to men? And the answer is it's Freudian. We love titties because we want to get hard when we watch things, even if it's things we shouldn't be getting hard while watching. And that's the only way they're going to get us our money. And doing one or the other is going to cause a reaction, which ultimately gets your marketing going and ultimately gets your money.
Well, I will say this. Ultimately, my whole thing was like, the WandaVision line and this aren't the same, because
Oh yeah, if you want to make sense, then yeah.
There's at least a reason that you can at least look at and be like, okay, I may not agree with that reason, but at least I can understand where you're coming from, why it is that change might occur for this thing, and you'd be like, okay, hey, like, or a reason why people would be like, hey, you probably shouldn't care this much about that because there's this legitimate reason over here why that change might happen.
People shouldn't try to tell me what I should care about.
Yeah, how about I just care about whatever the hell I want to care about?
You can care about whatever you want to care about, but that's the thing. Nobody's telling you not to care. What they're telling you is,
said you shouldn't care about this.
No. Not care about it. Not care about it as much. Like understand the legitimate reason why it's changed, as opposed to like what you're saying is why. Like what you're saying. You're comparing. Why would somebody tell me that I shouldn't care about the breast size of a cartoon rabbit because it might impact the way that a young girl might feel about her body? That's what you're saying. And you're saying that's the same thing as people feeling like I shouldn't care about a line, or I shouldn't like a line as much in a TV show because it's not as good of a line as you think it is.
I would honestly say your issue is definitely like smaller. Like when it comes to like self-esteem issues, they're more important than just cool lines in movies.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, like what I'm saying is even more important than your WandaVision thing.
Wait, why is it more important?
It's more important as a philosophical thing that you might want to explore in the Fantastic Forum one shot. Subscribe.
What you should care about is what these 4 YouTubers are talking about, because we'll tell you how it is, how it goes, how it should be.
I'm gonna tell you what you should think, and if you think different, you're a bad person.
Are we ready to rate WandaVision?
I didn't even know we were still on WandaVision. I thought we were doing news or something. I come back in, you guys are talking about a
let's rate it.
Fictional rabbit's breast size.
Let's rate it.
All I know is I hate eating rabbit because it's like eating fish. You got to pick out bones all of a sudden, like out of every bite. Anywho, I give WandaVision 5 out of 5. As you can see, I'm still stuck in the hex because it's not over for me. That's why we got the red and purple motif going.
Jay, what do you rate WandaVision?
Well, first, when I ate rabbit, there were no bones in it. It was just squicking me out that it was rabbit because I'm not used to eating rabbit.
So I ate the rabbit in the worst possible way. It was a Oaxacan restaurant, and they wrapped rabbit in like the stomach lining of it itself, and so they just crushed it all and just wrapped it in there and put it in the oven. And then I ate it, and it's like I had more bones than meat, and it's like, what's the point of eating a rabbit? Like I was ready to go vegetarian right then and there.
Yeah, that does sound pretty bad.
In soup.
In WandaVision, I would give a 4. I mean, despite the fact that when it was off, it was out of my mind completely. When I was watching it, I was really enjoying it like a lot.
Oz, what would you rate WandaVision?
For the average person, which is what I care about, unlike you guys who you're in your own elitist whatever.
Mister, I can't have internet because I just sold my house for a new house. It's calling us.
3.5, because it starts off so slow. I mean, it picks up and gets better towards the end, but I think a lot of the people watching us and watching this show didn't grow up with Dick Van Dyke and I Love Lucy, and so the first 2 or 3 episodes they're going to be a little bit lost, and it's not until the second half that they're really going to get into it. So 3.5, maybe 4, depending on what random YouTubers tell me I should think.
Got it. I would rate it 4.5. I enjoyed it a lot. There's definitely like It's not perfect. It comes close. There are little things that maybe it could have done that maybe would have made it 5 out of 5 for me. But at the same time, though, I enjoyed everything the show brought to the table, and I thought it was like really bold and really like different in regards to how it chose to tackle television, how it chose to tackle character. Listen, it made the Scarlet Witch and the Vision like the central topic of conversation in pop culture. That by itself is an accomplishment because those are not like it's in the same way how Iron Man didn't used to be like the superhero that people wanted to talk about and that the superhero that people wanted to like emulate and be like
their favorite.
Right. Like that's what they did for the Scarlet Witch and the Vision, and that's huge. So you got to give Marvel Studios their props for that. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. So cool. You all want to do some news? Or you want to talk about some
real
stuff
quick before we go into news? I have a question for you, Larry. Do you think we're gonna get an MCU Children's Crusade?
I don't think like not in that sense, but I do believe that those characters will come back. And I do believe that they'll age them up again when they do return. So,
yeah, me neither.
so I don't believe we'll get a Children's Crusade, but I do believe that you're gonna get like 2 actors that will come in and be playing Wiccan and Speed at like, some young cats that will come in and be the young adult, like late teen.
Patriot was part of that too, right?
In Children's Crusade?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patriot was, but that's why like it's not gonna be Children's Crusade. Like you'll get those 2 characters, but don't look for Young Avengers. Like that's not gonna. I'm not saying it will ever happen.
Now, Larry, when you say young cats, do you mean those characters from the cat universe? Like, is that your theory?
No, okay. Absolutely. That's not my theory. Don't look. Don't put me out there like that. No. I'm talking about young actors.
Look, watch it be actual cat people from the cat universe.
Hey, it could happen. It could. Anything's. We got White Vision. Anything's possible.
And Man-Thing.
Man-Thing. Anything's possible. Everybody's ready for that Man-Thing.
All right, news music coming up.
Ooh, comic book news.
We should have a
comic book
like her. Well, not like that, but like.
Wait,
What was that?
That's Larry's laugh.
That's his.
What version of my laugh is that?
It's one you did a couple of weeks ago. I told you I isolate that shit.
Damn.
I got timestamps.
I was sitting here ready. I was ready for the chunk chunk.
Well, like,
what the hell is chunk chunk?
Since we're on that topic here, I'll do the chunk chunk.
Woo, comic book news.
We should have a
comic book
like her.
news.
Well, not like that, but like. But I'm mad as hell.
Why?
Like, remember in our quarantine shows, you were angry at Spectrum?
What was I angry at Spectrum?
I don't know. I told you to just make a YouTube, like, so we could talk shit about Spectrum in the video, but
The old man vitamins?
no, the cable
That's
company.
Centrum.
So in quarantine, I upgraded my service to Spectrum to get Spectrum TV without a cable box. They gave me an Apple TV with a Spectrum app, and it says I can use Sci-Fi, and I can't. Like, the shit doesn't work. tech support is like Spectrum is a piece of shit.
Well, Monica just got the powers. She still hasn't.
It's not even look. I'm too angry to like think like, oh, good comic book reference. Yeah, fuck all that. Like, I can't sign into the Spectrum app to watch TV because they give you an Apple TV so you can just watch it everything instead of a cable box. I don't want no motherfucker breathing COVID in my motherfucking barbershop. So they mailed me an Apple TV and it doesn't work. No Spectrum app. And I sign into Sci-Fi app on any other with my Spectrum account, and they won't show me the new episodes of Resident Alien.
Oh, you're behind?
I'm behind like 2 episodes.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
You guys caught up finally? Like, I've been asking you to catch up for like 2 weeks. You didn't catch up?
I'm caught up.
I've been watching it week to week.
Dude, that whole sequence where he ends up spitting on the kid.
I haven't got there yet.
Oh my god,
what the fuck, man? Look,
I told you gotta watch out for Oz.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Hey,
it's literally like, I'll say this shit on YouTube. Like, it's like they want me to bootleg the motherfucker.
I listen. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like Spectrum is mad suspect, unfortunately.
And they still didn't. Here's
I feel like it was better when it was Time Warner.
I don't know why Sue Storm was there, but she showed up, and now she's part of the
This is what happened with Spectrum. So they gave me that option. My bill was going to go up just $10, including the Apple TV. They charged me a $200 sign-in fee. And then they charged me for the cable box and the service to come out to install the cable box when I specifically got this plan because I didn't want a cable box and I didn't want nobody coming out. But they were going to give me, 200 megs internet. So it's like, I told the guy, I'm like, well, I don't want another internet box or anything. And he's like, no, yours looks like it works. It works. Like, I can see what you have here and it works. It's fine. It didn't work. I had 12 megs for like fucking 4 months. And then they had to send somebody to replace the whole thing. Like they screwed me.
I'm sorry to do that.
And then look, I kept quiet since August. Like, I kept quiet about this. Like, I knew your plight with Spectrum and your beef that you had because they did some racial shit to you from what I remember.
I don't even remember what they did.
Look, man, I wish you did. Because this is the perfect time to bring it up. Back then, we hushed you because we were on a different topic. But this would have been the time to bring it up. But they literally so between that and this, it's like, oh, we're gonna give you credit. The credit never came, and I'm over here paying for it. And it's like, and then I felt like I needed to talk about it on the show when I couldn't watch Resident Alien.
Yeah. I can understand that. That's some BS. I don't look. I wish I had the solution for you to be like, hey man, just do this and do that. But like half the time when I'm trying to just access like my friggin' menu, when I'm just trying to access my menu, I can't even access my menu. Like I was trying to watch like John Adams on demand, and it was like, nah.
You just now watching that?
No, I watched it before. I was watching it again. I watched it when it came out.
But you have it on HBO Max.
But I got cable. I can literally just watch it on demand. If my thing, like, I don't want to sign into something different if I'm on the cable.
You're already signed into HBO Max because you have it.
I'm not, because my cable. If I'm on the input for my cable, I got to switch inputs to go to the Fire Stick to go to HBO Max. But I'm already here, so I should be able to watch it on demand.
But that's just a button. Like, that's a display button.
Wait.
Button.
Why are you arguing with me about this? Like, why won't you let me watch it how I want to watch it? Like, why can't I watch it on the input that I'm already on? Like, why
watching it wrong
on the input that you want me to watch it on? Like, I don't understand.
You know what?
What are you talking about? Like,
I'm glad.
You're talking nonsense.
I'm glad.
I should be able to watch it how I want to watch it.
I'm glad Spectrum called you the K word.
Oh God! What is the K word? I don't even know. What did they do to me? Tell me, Mo, so I can be bad.
So when you actually use the N-word on voice to speech, whether it's Alexa or Siri, like it spells it out, but with a K in front of it. So it's the N-word, but K.
Like a Kega?
No, it's KN.
Like how the word night,
Yeah.
does it need that K in front of it to sound the same?
Why does it put a why does that make it better?
So that is not the N-word, it's the K word.
No, it's 100% the N-word still if it's pronounced
Look,
the same way.
He said the K word. I'm like, Lawrence isn't Jewish.
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Whenever you, and this is what I want to talk about Nia on her AI channel too on YouTube. Link up here somewhere, because that's AI run amok. Like it literally just so people don't search when you get doxxed, they don't search for the N, they put a K for you.
Okay, well, listen, I don't have the mental bandwidth to even deal with that right now. I'm just saying, like, look, we're not even out the pandemic yet, so I'm gonna just go ahead and table that until after I feel like safe to just breathe in public.
Also,
and then I will go ahead and process why that's happening and maybe make a stink about it, but not right now.
Another thing you gotta put on that stink list is Monster got rid of you.
Yeah.
And they also got rid of the ultra black flavor of Monster.
There's a
wait. First of all, like I'm more offended by what you just said. Are you calling me ultra black?
I'm saying you kept that little flavor afloat, man.
I'm just saying I'm definitely phenomenal black. I don't know if I'm ultra black.
I made that correlation this morning when Emily bought me a Monster, and it was still the white old citrusy like squirt flavor one, and it's like she goes, I remember you liked this. I'm like, yeah, my favorite is ultra black, but I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, they got fired. They fired Larry, and then now they got ultra black. There's a correlation.
There's a new gold can that I want to try, but I feel bad because they fired Lawrence.
No, you can listen. You can buy whatever Monster you want. I will tell you though, I've tried Ultra Gold. It's okay. I mean, and that's not like
it feels like I'm sleeping with your ex.
I'm telling you 100%.
I'm willing to do it. I just feel bad.
I have no problem with the company
because she's still hot.
I had an issue with management. I didn't have no problem with the company. Monster is still a good product.
Some people would say management is the company.
The reverse, oh boy.
How's that the reverse?
Because now you're talking shit without talking shit instead of praising without praising.
I don't. How am I even talking mess? I'm telling you to buy the
It's funny if you just believe it. Like
I'm just glad you guys are cool because now I don't have to hide that I still drink Monster.
No point did I ever tell you not to do it.
I mean,
Larry, I'm sure Larry gets annoyed at me because I send him a picture every time I drink a Monster, telling him I wish I was a stronger man.
He does do that, and I tell him every time, like, dude, it's okay.
I tried Rain. I tried so many others, and none of them are as good.
Rain is still Monster.
Yeah, but it's like the ugly sister. It's like the fat cousin.
No,
it's
listen,
not the same.
I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm like, I don't feel like any of that stuff is as good as Monster. So that's why I would tell you. Like, I don't like. I'm not asking you all to drink an inferior product on my account because I'm not petty like that.
Well, you don't have to ask us.
Yeah,
we're there for you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, but
except for Mo, he's a weak man.
Yeah, your penance is done, except for Moses. Moses needs to drink at least three friggin' what's that other company? He needs to drink 3 bangs before he can drink Monster again.
Their sour apple is not as good.
There it is. 3 bangs and 2 Red Bulls before he can drink Monster again.
Look, Red Bulls I'm down with. Red Bull I like.
Oh,
but
okay, well, there you go.
Red Bull.
Oh, did I say Red Bull? I meant Pit Bull.
Oh,
I meant 2 Pit Bulls.
I'm down with the Red Bull. I'm down with the Red Bull, but it's such a small can. It doesn't have the girth of the of the monster. You know,
I don't
need
know what you're doing with those
that
cans,
girth
man.
to really
Just keep
get
it to
in there.
yourself, brother.
And
Just
I'm
keep
actually
it to
upset
yourself.
that
Hey, man.
I'm
We're not here
upset
to
that I haven't seen the BFC can anymore. I missed the BFC can.
That went out with the Four Loco, the original
And
Four Loco recipe. Like
I'm
got
a
rid of
little
all that.
I'm a little upset at Lawrence that I can't yell at him to get the BFC can back now.
You
Like
can't.
I've lost
you can't
all
get
my
it.
I lost
BFC
all
can-
my
Yeah.
insiders.
You gotta go to international to get that.
Yeah.
Friggin' Four Locos is still the only thing that I've ever drank that I'm like, I don't know if I should be drinking this.
But that was the old recipe, though. That was the old recipe. We
Listen,
don't
I
have.
ain't gonna try no new Four Locos.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
good.
Yeah, look,
You're like,
New Four Loco is like an overly sweet white Zinfandel.
New Four Loco kill COVID.
In the news,
You drink New Four Loco, you don't need the vaccine. Okay, in the news. I'm sorry.
I love when metal and geek stuff converges. And
Yes.
Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle, Faith No More, fucking was a Dead Cross most recently. He's singing the theme song, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song for the new video game that's going to be coming out. That's still not the date's not announced yet, but it is the arcade one, like a new one version of the arcade one. And I felt like this sounds the same, but I went back and listened to them side by side, and it's like he does give it a metal edge. Like
No, absolutely.
And Mike Patton is one of these like really talented vocalists where he could sing he could sing opera, he could sing metal, he could sing death metal, and he'll infuse it like depending on what band he's in that you're seeing. Like he'll infuse some of that. Like he'll do a Slayer cover and it just wail out, but then he'll do like I know he sang for the Dillinger Escape Plan, and the Dillinger Escape Plan is just this crazy erratic vocal. Like I have a feeling they hired Mike Patton because the dude from Dillinger Escape Plan needed a break to sing from singing like that. And granted, the Dillinger Escape Plan with Mike Patton was different than the original Dillinger Escape Plan, but it still was tight. And like seeing him do this, I was like, wow. Like,
Listen, here's what I need, because I don't know if the rest of the Fantastic Forum got the opportunity to like see the video that you put into our group chat.
I should have put it to play during the show, but I fucked up.
That's okay. Or actually, because the song was awesome. It's a great version of that song because it's like the 90s cartoon Ninja Turtles song, but just like Mo said, like with a bit of a metal edge to it. The game is like the like Mo mentioned, it's like similar to the arcade game, but it's definitely like kind of a bit of a 16-bit-ish kind of thing going on, and has like it's a different game. Like you can look at it and tell like, okay, this is like it's definitely inspired by the arcade game, but it's a new game in that style. And what I need is, if this joint has online multiplayer, I need a commitment from the forum to like all get this game so we can play it together
On the Switch?
Yeah, I could do that.
On whatever system. I'm open. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know what platforms it's coming to. I was watching the trailer, like you said, like I was waiting with bated breath after I saw the gameplay, and I'm like, oh, like the song hyped me up, but I'm like, oh, this is all cinematic stuff. Like, where's the game? Then they showed the game. I'm like, oh, I want to play that. And I'm like, tell me what platforms and tell me what date. And it didn't do any of that. It gave me no dates. It gave me no platforms. And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like,
Steam is confirmed.
But Steam, I mean,
I don't have a computer that could run Steam.
I'm just like, look, and don't get me wrong, like I get it. Like I understand that there are definitely like hardcore PC people out there, and maybe one day I'll be one of them because I want a gaming PC. I don't have one, but I'm not there yet, and I don't have like gaming PC friends that are like, yeah, we'll all get that. But either way, even if I did, what I want to do is play this with Fantastic Forum because there are 4 of us, and I feel like we would have a blast playing this game. I'm calling dibs on Leonardo, so don't anybody get any ideas.
Look, we all have our personality. Like we know who's gonna be who already. Like,
do we?
Yeah.
Do we? Okay, listen.
Look,
listen,
everybody, real quick, at the count of 3, say who Oz is gonna be. 1, 2, 3, go.
Donatello.
Michelangelo.
See, fights already.
Yeah.
Jay wants
Michelangelo.
Jay wants Michelangelo.
Yeah,
Donatello.
Jay's not even personality-wise. He's not even that introvert, like extroverted, like Michelangelo.
I'm not saying he is, but that's who Jay.
I'm not.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's my spirit animal.
Jay is like Ninja Turtles is where Jay becomes the Wolverine guy.
well, that would be
what I'm saying? Huh?
That would be Raphael.
No, that's what you think because you're Raphael. But most people are Michelangelo. They love Michelangelo.
Oh, like that. I thought you meant. Okay.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. You're right. Like personality-wise, Raphael and Wolverine are more alike. But like everyone that calls themselves an X-Men fan, like generally, Wolverine is their favorite X-Man, and this is the one part where Jay is like, I don't know why Jay likes Michelangelo this much. There's no good reason for it because you're right. It doesn't resonate with Jay from a personality level, and his favorite color isn't orange, and it's not like Jay's like, oh, I love nunchucks, and he's not like, oh man, like I just like to party. I don't know what it is, but Jay's always been a Michelangelo. It doesn't make any sense.
That's the beauty of The Last Ronin too, though. Like if you've been a Mike fan, like it plays to you because you're like, it's not the Mike you came up with, but it gives you a good Mike story.
No, there you go.
Issue 3 coming out. IDW.
That's a 5-issue thing, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I forget. Last one is the 5-issue thing or a 6?
3.
3?
3.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was 5 total.
I thought it was 5 too. 5 or 6.
I can't help y'all. I don't remember. But yeah, but that's the one
thing. Expect the one shot coming soon.
Yeah. So, but you want Raph, right, Mo?
Yeah, I mean that. I didn't choose Raph. Raph chose me.
So, and Oz Donatello's what you want to play?
Well, yeah, because he's the smartest one.
Okay, well there you go. So, damn.
The only one that knows what's going on.
That worked out perfect.
But he's like perfect Bay Donatello.
He doesn't Last Ronin is 5 issues.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, but whenever they release, whatever they tell you this console releases, we need to coordinate and get this joint on the same console so we can all play it together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off of PlayStation, so don't get it on that.
So Switch it is. We need to buy you a Switch. Is that what you're saying?
If you want to, I won't say no to it.
Y'all have Xboxes, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be on Game Pass?
I doubt it.
I'm just saying, my guy, it's probably going to be like a $20 game.
But Streets of Rage 4 made it to Game Pass, so maybe.
Well, my question is, can I do xCloud if? Well, I guess if I buy it digitally, huh? Yeah. I'll probably do that then. Yeah.
It says it's gonna be on Steam.
No. Listen,
yeah, but there's no Fifth Turtle. Heck.
There's no Fifth Turtle. Listen, I'm just saying none of us. Well, I'm sorry, Oz. Do you have a gaming PC? Because you might have a gaming PC. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't need a gaming PC to use Steam.
Yeah, you do.
Like I don't have a gaming PC. I have Steam.
Well, I mean, okay, I have Steam, but I can't run most of the stuff that's on Steam with the.
I don't think this game is going to take up that much resources.
Like I couldn't run that. I couldn't run that.
Small.
The only you okay, and you're probably right. You're probably right. I'll give you that. You're probably right. Like I guess technically, but at the same
And
like
two, the amount of visual novels on Steam means you probably can play the majority of Steam games.
I don't believe that.
Dude,
Like,
they're everywhere because they're
I'm sure
cheap.
there's a lot of visual novels, but there's a lot of like hardcore stuff on Steam too. Like you don't realize like I tried to play the demo for friggin' Chris Tales on the PC on Steam, and it was like, nah.
That game aesthetically looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not into the place. I don't know if I'm into the play style.
Well, it's turn-based RPG.
Yeah, but there's the time travel mechanic.
Chrono Trigger.
I'm not sure I'm into it.
I'm not sure it's into you, Jay.
I just bought a game on Switch on Sunday, and I still haven't found the time to play it.
What game you buy?
Curse of the Dead Gods.
I feel like is that Cthulhu roguelite?
That sounds about right. To me, it looked and felt like a more RPG-ish, if you can imagine that, than version of like Battle Chasers. Like it had the same aesthetic and it felt more RPG-ish than that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this shit.
Okay, cool.
Hex says you need Windows 7 plus processor, Intel Core i3. You've got to have at least that. That's like old.
I'm
Right.
looking at.
I
all
think
this-
Hex is trying to hack into our stream.
Listen, I'm like all of this looks like friggin' like I want to say it looks like Greek to me, but I know Greek better. So
Trust me, you have all this.
I do.
Yes.
And that's the minimum requirements.
Look,
for...
he doesn't. I can tell you for a fact, Larry does not have 4 gigabytes available space.
Why not?
Dude, just delete some of your porn.
I don't have.
Like,
any
it's not
porn.
like it's not porn. It's show stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna delete
some of your show stuff.
I'm gonna delete. Right, I'm gonna delete all Jay's videos. I'll be like, oh, this is garbage. What's it say? Fillmore? Nah. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm messing with you, Jay.
When's that coming out?
I've been fucking up, but I'm back on it. This next week, I'm gonna have all my stuff put in. Lawrence, if you can't give me the stuff yourself, just tell me what you want in it, and I think I can find it.
No, I'll get you my stuff too, because I have some of it, but I don't have all of it. So soon is, I guess, the right answer. Coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Speaking of Battle Chasers mode, do you want to talk about that news?
Yeah. So last week we were going to talk about this news that they teased issue 10 of Battle Chasers, and then it got confirmed. Our news was that it was teased, but yeah, it got confirmed that he got this other artist that's a Blizzard like concept artist to draw it. But
Look, do you hear the level of disappointment in this fool's voice?
Yeah,
I do hear it.
I mean, you saw the picture; like it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't wait 20 years for some concept artists at Blizzard, as beautiful as the Blizzard art is, from Diablo to StarCraft to everything. Like it's all great. I love all that.
Yeah.
I didn't wait 20 years for that.
Right.
Hey, but I thought you said you would feel weird if Joe Mad drew it now. Because he would seem like an old pervert drawing.
Right. Well, he looks like an old pervert to be drawing Red Monica. And then now I actually said that 10 years ago, or well, now 15 when we started the show. and now I feel like I'd be the old pervert. Yeah.
The reality is you're all of you are the old perverts.
Yeah. But the thing at this point, it's like after playing Night War, Battle Chasers Night War, it's like you don't need to come back to this. Like I
Did
got,
you finish that game?
I got 130 hours in, and it like I'm not done, but I'm good. Like I'm good with this. I'm good. Like I didn't finish it because I know once I finished it, I was supposed to be getting comics, and I knew they weren't going to happen. So I purposely didn't finish it on Xbox, and then started it and purposely didn't finish it on the Switch because I don't expect to ever get comics.
But the comics are coming now.
They're not.
They're
Does that mean
fanfics.
you have to finish it now on both systems?
No.
Yes, twice.
Yeah. I'm not like the comic's not coming out. Like
That's not a real comic. That's a fan fiction.
no,
They
it's
ain't
not
no
even
man
that.
doing it.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's not coming out
Like, why do you feel like it won't come out?
because he got somebody that he fits, has his vibe and his like way of doing things to finish what he can't finish. But part of him picking out somebody like that is somebody that's not going to be able to finish it. Because guess what? He's a concept artist at Blizzard, Epic, and all these places. He's going to get more valuable work doing those things where he doesn't have to put an ounce of thought into it or listen to Joe Matt tell him what to do.
Okay. That's interesting. Like, I mean, I feel where you're coming from, where it's like, if you're like, oh, I can get paid more.
Yeah.
And, it's like less work, like less input, less like stress.
Right.
I can feel where you're coming from with that. At the same time, I mean, he might just have like decent work ethic and be like, well, I said I'm going to do it, so I will.
Look, it's COVID times. There ain't no serious work ethic. Like, yeah, he can work from home and do, instead of working a 16-hour day at Blizzard, he can do get a 10-hour part-time and just sleep 6 hours or whatever the math works out. I'm not a mathematician like that, but who's gonna want to do that? Like this working from home shit's burning out too. So like the time, like if he would have said March 2020, it's coming out, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy got quarantine to do. Like he's got time, he's got nothing but time to do it. But he's doing it right when we're getting the vaccines. Like,
Okay, that's fair.
it's like I'm about to get the Kirkland signature vaccine like 2 weeks from now.
I don't even know what that means.
That's the Costco brand vaccine. Like
Kirkman.
Oh, Kirkland, not
Kirkland signature.
I thought you said Kirkman. I was like, so Robert Kirkman is gonna draw.
No, Costco
to
said,
draw
hey,
the vaccine on you.
he goes, hey, if you want the vaccine, just reply to this email with your info, your
It's
age,
like
and everything.
The Kirkman vaccine is what caused all the zombies.
Yeah.
So okay, Oz. I know we're just about done, but Oz, do you want to talk about the High Republic at all, or you're like, I'm good?
Nah, good.
That's fair. That's fair. Mo, you got anything else you want to say before we get out?
I had stuff, but you know
I
what?
mean, look, we got time.
Oh no! I got to go to sleep, and I have a big roast I got to finish. I'm cooking for the rest of the week.
Oh,
Wait, the High Republic, like the Rock?
Yeah, The Rock.
The Rock's in the High Republic.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson's in the High Republic.
Done.
If you smell
Yeah.
what the Rock is cooking. All right. Well, dude, shoot, we lost Jay.
Yeah, I would talk about that story, but you're just gonna defend it.
All right. Well, hey, why don't you give us some final thoughts, Oz?
No, not until you watch Superman and Lois.
That's fair.
So never.
Next week's final thoughts.
It's so good.
I don't believe you.
Look, you're probably not going to think it's good, but it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
He's gonna like just watch it with the intention of hating it. Now
I don't listen. If it's good, I'll admit that it's good.
I doubt it.
Like, I literally wanted to do a one shot just to talk about how good it is,
Like,
and even
I'm
how they
only
fixed, like how
I'm
they
only
fixed the Snyderisms.
I'm only gonna believe you if you like it. If you say you don't like it, then you're lying.
Well, I don't know what to tell you on that one, Oz. It's like it turns out that I don't have to think what you want. I can think whatever I
You
actually
don't have to think what I want. You perfectly in your rights to be wrong.
Oh, see, there it is. There it is. Jay, why don't you hit us with some final thoughts, buddy?
Oh, he's frozen.
Jay.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
oh,
Milan.
I was like, Jay, can you hear me? Hello, Jay. Oh, there he is.
No, my
Jay.
connection is fucked up. I'm not sure why.
Okay, well, look, you're good right now, so give us final thoughts real quick.
Final thoughts. I hate the costume change on Adam and Eve for the Invincible cartoon.
Got it. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
Look, just subscribe. Like, we have a review coming up. I want to say tomorrow, but I got in my own head and I did a review of Jeff Lemire's Snow Angel comic that came out last week. And there's a one shot coming. I was trying to get it. I was trying to have it ready right now so you can just skip this and go there. But it turns out like there was a lot more editing done, and then I forgot a whole aspect of the review, so I had to reshoot. So it's going to be inserted in between, and it took about 2 hours to edit, and it's not done yet. But the video is only 4 minutes, so I wasted 4 hours of my life, so you can just waste 4. So, but yeah, hit subscribe, and you'll get a review of Snow Angel.
There it is. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Until then, please go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, add some comments, follow us, do all the social media things because we need that to know what it is that you want and to better help us succeed. So we're the Fantastic Forum. We'll be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you.